I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in everyone. Disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed those fucking men.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Oh, wait a minute. So people couldn't hear anything I just said, huh? I'm telling you, Bucho, I knew this was going to happen. I knew the microphone thing there. Anyway, you know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels or way, you're welcome to do so via the super chat feature. You can also donate via the Buy Me a Coffee app, link in the description below, Patreon, and join the membership program. That way you get more bang for your buck. But the most important thing is you guys continue to like, you subscribe, you spread that BDA gospel. I knew I had that thing muted. I'm telling you, this roadcaster is really good, but sometimes you get confused with it. Be that as it may, I am here, and Bucho's here. And Bucho, by the way, I could hear you munching on popcorn, though. I had to mute you.
Scared like a little white pussy.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I hear you munching all the time. No, but we are here, and...
Why not?
There you go. Bucho wants to keep munching on popcorn.
What the fuck are we doing out here?
I will never be a white boy in my life.
Oh, it's the battle. It's the battle of the. It's the battle of the soundboards. That's right.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Oh, all right. Listen, We got a lot to get to here, so I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Chitlin Distributor, Two Matador, Darkade Dog, one of the initiated, Rapax Strunking Company, another one of the initiated, Baron Evola, Eparokua, JV, Chitlin Distributor, Grim Reaper, Miso Dionysian, Handsome Mechanic, Delboy. Shout out to Delboy, aka Blue Coast Sports TV. See, I'm sort of zoning out now. Chitlin Distributor, Jaime Raiden, Eparokua, Some Rando, Handsome Mechanic. Many more people to come, I'm sure, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Jaime Raiden says, I thought BDA was doing a moment of silence for El Mencho. I'd heard of El Mencho before, but I never really even knew who. I mean, so this was he Sinaloa cartel, or what was he exactly?
No, Jalisco.
Jalisco.
Nueva generación, yeah.
Isn't that where Canelo's from?
That's right.
Very interesting.
Right.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, listen, we gotta keep on going here with the show. We can't stop stand on ceremony for El Mencho. Although I'm shout out to El Mencho, I guess. I don't know. I guess he was a big celebrity over there in Mexico. We got a lot to get to here, so let's go ahead and do that. A rumor circulating about the Zuffa TKO takeover. It's happening. When all of this was happening, and they'd said the initial appearance was that they were going to be staying at the pro box level, meaning, Angelo Leo at the most, those type of guys, maybe Erickson Lubin on one of their cards. And then when they started saying about they were going to have Ajagba on, and you're like, okay, Ajagba's not exactly the big star. Then they started signing Jayo Petaya. Then they doled out big bucks for Conor Benn. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk. Then they're talking about signing Usyk now, Alexander Usyk, the heavyweight champion. So you're thinking, what's going on? Now Frank Warren is suing them, litigating. And he's quite litigious. That old Frank Warren. Not only does he dodge bullets, but he can also make other people and connect with the litigation. They can't make a miss just the way he can. He's a matrix in there in litigation, in the courts. So he's taken over, and I think I got a couple of clips here where they were asking him in the Dubois versus Wardley conference. Reporters were trying to ask him, well, what can you tell us about it? It's like nothing at this moment. Nothing. The guy's 73 years old. He's still going to war. So that's one of the things that we've got going on there. But then the interesting thing about that is we've got major happenings here because Ring Magazine, they got bought by the Sheik, what was it, about 2 years ago? A year ago? And people say, well, there goes impartiality. Boxing scene has been very adroit and invested in criticizing Ring Magazine under its current ownership by the Sheik. So people were saying, well, really, what's the big deal? Or, boxing scene, they're only doing that because Ring Magazine is a competition and boxing scene is associated with Pro Box. And Ring Magazine, now associated with Boxing Zuffa TKO, that is the competition. So there were, people were saying, I was thinking that myself, like, boxing is just being biased and they don't really want to mention that. But now this is what happened. With the pending lawsuit there from Frank Warren, the Ring Magazine Twitter account posted this. Rumors are circulating in the boxing world that Queensberry is in financial trouble without a continued business relationship with SELA and TKO. The loss of those relationships has influenced Queensberry's threat to sue SELA and TKO. Rumors indicate that their announcement to the media of legal action was timed before the Wardley versus Dubois press conference, which took place today for an event which is struggling to sell tickets. So immediately, well, not immediately, but soon thereafter, somebody posted this, one of those community notes. Company's house shows Queensberry Promotions posted $15 million profit from the tax year up to the end of March 2025, meaning they made quite a bundle there. And then it says tickets for Wardley versus Dubois are not yet on general sale. So people started looking at this post here from Ring Magazine. They said, oh boy, they are now the Turkey's propaganda arm. And people are criticizing them for sinking that low. But a couple of questions nevertheless remain in the surface here, Bucho. Number one, like Irish Andrew Ward told me in the Discord, these community notes, sometimes they got bots that post these. So if you're paying for an army of bots, these community notes can get up there, right? That doesn't mean, just because something was community noted doesn't mean that the community note is factual. Second of all, I'd like to know, maybe there's information available about the pre-sales Is that possible? So I don't know. So, but whether any of that is true or not, let's say this Ring Magazine post was indeed false. This is a bad look for Ring Magazine for them to be doing this, and for I don't know if Turki Alalshikh is giving the order. Some people are saying that it's Rig Reno, aka Mr. Versace. So it is a bad look. The fact that they had to paint Frank Warren in light as if he was poor and cutting coupons and cutting costs. Meanwhile, this guy's one of the most successful, if not the most successful British promoter out there. Although in recent years, Eddie Hearn had sort of usurped him. So, Butcher, what do you make of all of this?
Yeah, that was a stupid move. I don't know why they would lie like that. Obviously, I mean, things are not going to end well, I guess. Right? This is escalating, just like the U.S. invasion of Iran. So, I don't. That's. I mean, you know what? I think Mr. Versace was behind this. I don't think he consulted with the higher ups.
You think so?
My opinion. I'm just speculating here, based on his looks.
Wait a minute. You're gonna look. You're one of those.
I don't know what to say. You know what? We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is going crazy. This is gonna spiral out of control.
Judging a book by its cover, I do that all the time. By the way, because experience has taught me that yes, indeed, sometimes the book does indeed tell you what's inside. The cover of the book tells you what's inside of it and the content. And so, listen, I'm just, that's why when people look at me, I kind of look like an older, what's his name? Clavicular. That's what I look like. A little, better jawline, bigger as well, of course, in all areas. But thereabouts, the same place. What did I hear? The hell did I hear? Oh, okay, somebody jumped in. Hey, how come I can hear somebody jumping in from your end, Bucho?
You can?
Yeah, it wasn't from my end.
Let me mute it. Yeah, I'm gonna mute it.
Why'd you do that? Now, you mentioned Rig Reno, and I was gonna save this for later, but somebody did indeed say that perhaps Rig Reno was behind this. Check this out. I don't know if this guy's joking around or not, Adam, the analyst, but he says, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you an alleged Turki or Rig Reno burner account, created probably today, mainly commenting on critics of the Ring's recent propaganda piece, and then proceeding with a mediocre attempt to hide it by commenting on random posts. Hello, lad. And there you go with Rig Reno right there. I don't know where this guy got this from, but apparently he's accusing this account, Flynn Dibble 2, of being Rig Reno or possibly Turki Alalshikh. I don't think I don't know what Turki Alalshikh really does. But something tells me he's got a lot of free time on his hands, on his greasy little fingers. When he's not forcing people to hold his hand, he's probably typing away, either on his keyboard or on his phone, perhaps running interference. I don't know. But Rig Reno, in that boxing scene article that I talked about in September, they mentioned the fact that certain writers alleged that Rig Reno had contacted them. By the way, Rig Reno is the CEO of Ring Magazine. And allegedly, some writers claim that Rig Reno has contacted them in the past whenever they're critical of Turki Alalshikh, and he tells them, hey, listen, can you, tone it down, or can you take that away, or can you edit that? Meanwhile, they don't even work under him. And apparently that's I think, maybe I should fact check that. Because people have said that that's what goes on in Ring Magazine. Allegedly, yeah. But definitely goes on in Ring Magazine right now. And I don't want to criticize Ring Magazine too much because they did make the archives free. And I don't know if they're going to hold us hostage now. And they're going to go, oh, well, if you keep talking bad about Ring Magazine now, we're taking away those archives. No more archives for you.
They're bringing it up to the masses. How should I say? They're marketing it much better than before.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I like that,
Yeah, but I mean, you remember when De La Hoya bought it, and he said, "Oh, there's not going to be any interference. It's going to be Ring Magazine. It's just an online."
You see Broner number 4.
Yeah.
That?
Well, no, 6. I think 6 or 5.
Per pound.
Yeah. And then 2011, they fired the core of the writers, the ones that I spent about 15 years reading, and then all of a sudden, whoops, gotta go. They just fired them because I think they didn't want to toe the line. They were too old school. We got Frank jumping in here. Frank, are you there?
Yeah. Hello, Miss VDA.
What the hell? Is that Fu or is that Frank? I can't tell.
Doink.
Bedoink.
Is it good enough?
Yeah, it was good. It did sound a little bit like...
Yeah. Who the fuck does that?
I don't know. Well, Fu. But, yeah, what do you think about all this? Oh man, well we're gonna talk about the Tourette. Somebody yelled out at the BAFTA Awards. Somebody yelled out BDA, the greatest channel on YouTube, and they had to stop the whole thing. But I was gonna say, Frank, yeah, all this thing about Frank Warren suing SELA, TKO, Zuf. I don't even know what they call it nowadays. And then that Ring Magazine post, I'm going to post it back here on the screen, where they were saying that, they were trying to be impartial. Like, rumors indicate that their announcement to the media of legal action was timed before the Wardley Dubois press conference for an event which is struggling to sell tickets. And then they got hit with the community note saying the tickets aren't even yet on sale. So people are really piling on Ring Magazine for the lack of professionalism. What do you think about all of this, Frank?
It's a dirty business, BDA. Just like you're in a dirty game. Everybody's trying to fuck each other. Can I say that?
Well, I'd rather you didn't, but you already did so.
Okay. Or they're trying to screw each other. I mean, you can see these things coming a mile away, right? I mean, this happened between King and Aram. They were always suing each other. The fighters, they sue each other now. So it's just, I mean, it's the most dirty business, right? What other sport tries to screw each other over and over again?
Maybe the porn Olympics. I don't know, but yeah, other than that. No, you're right.
That.
Oh, you know what you're missing. But no, actually, it's kind of overrated. But listen, the point is this. For years now on this channel, I've been saying, I've been telling the story of how people have tried to break into boxing to take over, and it doesn't work because too many people, too many long-time promoters are entrenched in it, and they can't be toppled. Well, now it's a different story because their powers are waning. De La Hoya's power has waned. Tom Brank's power has waned. PBC, we're doing 5 shows a year. This is ripe for somebody to take over. Maybe not take over completely like the UFC did with MMA, but maybe just enough so that these other people slowly but surely start drifting away. These other promotional companies. You never know. People are talking about it now. The takeover.
No, I've seen that. But I mean, I don't think anybody's going to feel sorry for these. What do they call them? The legacy guys? There's a term people are using. Is it the legacy promoters?
I don't know.
The old regime, whatever they're saying, the old regime.
The old guard.
Yeah. Man, they did it to themselves. I mean, I'm not going to cry over it. Poor Eddie Hearn, I guess.
Yeah, like we talked about in the before last episode.
Already the way out. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Go ahead. Some of them are already on the way out. And how old is Frank Warren?
73,
Bob Arum. I know Bob Arum. I mean, his son-in-law was probably going to take over, but I heard about Top Rank. They're going to renew. They're going to have a new contract with ESPN. A new deal, I should say.
A new deal.
So, the new deal.
Well,
BDA, you said something earlier about Turkey, right? Turkey and Dana. Like, if you guys seen that walking down an alley, would you trust them either? That's the whole thing too. It's not. I mean, you look.
All right. Well, listen. I think we're back. I'm gonna have to go fix the whole thing again because yesterday I was doing a show with Boxing Chief, and the thing went out. The internet went out 5 times in a row. So I'm gonna have to go fix it, but it's gonna go out again for a couple of seconds. So I'll be right back. We're gonna fix this. I'm telling you, we're gonna fix it. But I'll be right back. Can I leave you with a little something here? I don't want to. No, but it's gonna go out anyway, so I don't even know if I should put music. I'm gonna put a little music either way. Why not?
Yeah, that's elevator music.
Do I got anything? Fuck. Excuse me. I shouldn't curse. I'll put on something from in honor of the Sheikh, something a little Middle Eastern. Be right back. Hey, did it even go out? What happened? Anyway, I think we're on the air. All right, so back to what we were talking about. So this whole takeover thing, people like me a couple of years ago were thinking, well, because we've seen it before, right? People trying to come in and they're not going to be able to take over. Well, apparently now people are all these legacy guys, legacy promoters like Frank Colum, starting to shake a little bit. And the more they criticize Zufa TKO and like, nothing, they're not going to be able to do anything, nothing's going to come out of this. Why would they start criticizing them so much? If they didn't matter, they would just ignore them. But no, they're attacking them. The product is crap. They're all doing the ass clap back Tuesdays or whatever, and it was quite lame. I've never liked it, and it was even lamer this time because considering where he's at, where his company's at right now. So, what do you guys think? Well, somebody was going to say something about it. Was it Frank or Bucho who was going to say something?
I think it was me before we were so rudely cut off.
Yes, indeed.
No, I mean I was saying, these legacy promoters, they did it to themselves, but I don't have any faith in. You were mentioning how Turki seems like a slimy kind of guy.
Did I say
you really trust him? Yeah, you were saying. I thought you said he has greasy fingers.
I didn't say that. I'm gonna have to censor that.
Okay, well I'm gonna say it then. He looks like the kind of guy that would walk. He just walking in the city and he sees two transient guys. He'll just throw down $20 to watch them fight. I just kind of get that feeling. He's kind of sadistic like that,
I thought you were gonna say he was gonna go up to a homeless guy who has a dog, and then he's gonna go, "You smell like shit. You and I have nothing in common." And then he starts stomping on the dog.
Yeah, maybe, or just take the dog, right? Just here,
right?
$50 and just take his dog.
And he tells people all the time,
just because he can.
And he tells people all the time he's got to go return some videotapes. But listen, he can't get a table at Dorsey's. But you might be right. Look, listen, but this is the other thing, Frank and Bucho, that do you guys feel bad for these legacy promoters?
No, absolutely not.
There you go.
They've been part of the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
They always promise us, the fans, that they're going to do everything in their power to make the fights happen, and they're going to do this and that. They never do anything. It's like politicians,
Mm-hmm.
They're in Congress or the House of Commons or whatever, and they're there for a decade, and then like, no, as soon as I become the president or prime minister, I'm going to do this and that. Like, why didn't you do anything before that?
Mm-hmm.
I know they were in a lower position, but still, they never tried to really propose anything revolutionary or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's the same thing with these promoters, man. And they were all happy when Turki Alalshikh, flew down from heaven with all this fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They were all sucking his cock and everything. And now all of a sudden, he's bad. He's an enemy. He betrayed us. No, you betrayed the sport of boxing. And these people betrayed the sport of boxing. They betrayed us. And now we're supposed to feel sorry for these people? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Is Dana White going to fix everything and Sufa boxing? Are they going to put on better events? I don't know. Maybe, but we'll take a chance. I mean, I'll definitely take a chance with them. Right? What are we supposed to do? Wait for these legacy promoters, whatever, to finally start doing something? Come on.
You remind me, the way you said it reminds me of, remember in the Kingdom of Heaven, when Salahuddin tells the religious guy, he goes, how many victories did Allah give before I came? That is, how many victories did he score before I? But no, how was it before he sent me?
Yeah,
yeah, it's true, man. It's these promoters. I mean, look, I hate to miss. I've said it before. Sometimes people do exaggerate the state of the sport or how low it is. People, we never get the big fights. First of all, that's false because we do get big fights. But yeah, there is a lot of politics, and sometimes there's a lot of fights that don't get made. Not necessarily the big ones, but because this is a business, eventually those get made. But I guess you could make the better argument saying that sometimes the big fights don't happen when we want them. And
it should be happening more often.
Absolutely. And well, listen, the big problem, of course, is that a lot of these dudes are overpaid. I mean, come on, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson getting paid $10 million. I know they did well at the gate, but how many pay-per-view buys did they really do? Have they even actually now? If they would have been good, we would be seeing them all over the place right now. But we don't see them anymore. Ever since the Turki Alalshikh took over with the ring, what do they call it? Well, ring 1, ring 2, those events, ring events. So I would, they're not doing well on pay-per-view right now. No, I don't know any, other than Canelo, maybe in the UK. So there's no American star right now. And they're trying to create one. They're trying to turn Shakur Stevenson into one, but the guy can't punch. So there's only so far that you can take that dude. Maybe his next fight, like I keep saying, he's going to have a little bit of a bump based off what happened in the Lopez fight. But eventually people are going to watch and they're going to, well, why should the casual fans going to look at it and say, why should I pay for that? So the pay scale is really is a problem. And some people fight for their fighters. There's fans out there, no, we can't let the fighter pay go down. Hey, if the fighter pay goes down, we get more of the fights that we want. Because this is going to be forced to fight. And not for nothing, but I was very naive about a year or two ago when I kept saying, how come more of these fighters don't box more often? And so one of you guys or somebody wants to end the panel, like, they don't want to fight. They're okay, that's true. They're getting paid $5 million plus, some of these top guys. They're only going to fight once or twice a year. They're content with that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They need to fight more often, and if they have to be paid less in order for that to happen, then so be it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are paying more now to watch boxing. It's getting more expensive for us. The cost is rising just so we can enjoy the sport that we love. Right? Nobody cares about us. Nobody's saying, "Oh, well, we should." Yeah, now $500, and you get what was it? The zone. What the fuck is it called again? The package where you get
Ultimate
12 pay-per-views.
Ultimate up your A pass.
Yeah,
it's the
exactly.
ultimate
That's
up your
what
A
it should be
pass.
called. Yeah, no additional cost. It says on the commercial there. No additional cost. How is that? Yes, of course, there's an additional cost. It's $500 to get 12 pay-per-views, and we don't even know what those pay-per-views are going to be. Some of them might be complete garbage. I mean, we know they put some fights that shouldn't be on pay-per-view. They've done it in the past. So what's to say that they're not going to do it now? Right? With 12 pay-per-views, of course, some of them are going to be garbage.
You know why they call it the ultimate package?
Why?
Because it's the ultimate ass reaming. We're getting ass reamed by these dudes. $500. I mean, listen, $250 is what we're paying now here in Canada, or thereabouts, $270 something. $500? You're asking me to shell out half a grand a year.
Well, no, you're being a hater, BDA. It's ultimate savings, because you're saving. You're really saving.
That's right.
That's what you're missing.
By the way, we're now into March, deep into February, almost into March. So this is the third month, entering the third month of the year. They still haven't announced any other pay-per-view yet, have they? I mean, the Fury thing, that's on Netflix.
Yeah, Wilder Chisora's pay-per-view.
Wilder Chisora, okay, that's one. And what else? Because they said 12 pay-per-views a year.
Think of one.
I don't know, man.
Wilder's going to be pay-per-view, right? So Wilder... Benavides against Zurdo.
That's pay-per-view.
That's on Prime. That's on Prime.
Oh. That's interesting because I'd looked at the ESPN schedule a few days ago and it said the zone, but then somebody else did say with the same thing that Frank said, that apparently it's on. Let me check. When is that? It's May, right? It's the May
2nd.
On ESPN, I'm going to show it to people just so that they don't think I'm spreading misinformation here or disinformation. Right. It says May 2, Las Vegas, the zone. So ESPN's made a mistake then.
I'm thinking. I thought it was just on Prime.
Actually, let's take a look at the poster. The poster should tell us.
Oh no! Somebody's saying Dubois against Wardley is supposed to be a pay-per-view. Apparently, according to yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. That shouldn't be on a paper. That shouldn't be pay-per-view.
Well, if it's a big fight in the UK,
what the fuck is gonna be on? What's gonna be on a normal card, non-pay-per-view card? What's it gonna be on the zone then?
Yeah, first of all, just back to the real quick before we go on to that, I'm looking at the poster here for Benavides Zurdo. It says Prime Video.
So, yeah, Frank is right.
So is it gonna be multicast like the way they did with?
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't say the
zone. No, because
I
would think it would be the Turkey cards are ring cards. Rida season ring cards, and this is Oscar getting away from that. I think because he's matching up with PBC.
Right.
Benavides is PBC.
Well, that's interesting right there. There seems to be some sort of a pushback now, as we expected with some of these things. We're seeing lawsuits. We're seeing De La Hoya and the PBC teaming up again. I mean, we just saw Ryan Garcia versus Barrios, and now with this one, very, very interesting. Very interesting. That's absolutely correct here. What are people in the chat saying? Del Boy says they should be... He says, hold on, let me put it up on the screen. He says the fighters should be paid like the circus animals that they are. Well, I'm not going to go that far and call them circus animals, but some of these dudes are a little bit too entitled. I mean, I played you guys the video in the before last episode of Max Kellerman reiterating the point that we make here, how about boxing, it should be about the fans. And Andrew Ward shot him a look like, "Are you fucking nuts? Like, how could you say that?" You know what I mean? He seems very he seemed incredulous. Del Boy also says pay-per-view is dead. Was the original sales pitch for the Zone? Yeah, you remember that about 8 years ago, and thereabouts. Yeah, 2018. No more pay-per-view. But it is interesting though that a lot of these other people involved in boxing, like Leonard Ellaby, remember that he famously said, "Oh, they're going into an app. No one's gonna watch him." Now everyone's on an app, including Floyd Mayweather. He's gonna be fighting on Netflix. That's an app, a streaming platform. So, yeah, that became the future. With the cord cutters. Not very. According to the statistics, they say boomers and baby boomers and Generation X, they're the ones that still consume most of the TV viewership. Other than that, everybody else is watching it on streaming platforms, their content. So, pay-per-view.
They're idiots. Streaming is bad. How are you gonna watch anything on the stream? It's like they had no vision. No, it's like Kodak and digital. Remember that story about Kodak? Yeah. I mean, what digital cameras? What the fuck? We don't need that shit. That's not gonna be successful, and all of a sudden it is. Same thing with these people. They're fucking idiots.
Well, some people are too busy focusing on other stuff instead of on the big picture. The other thing I wanted to mention was that Frank Warren went a bit scorched earth on Zuffa TKO. He had something to say. He couldn't say anything about his lawsuit against TKO, but he had some words to say about Conor Benn's recent signing with TKO, and he had this to say: the sums of money that's being paid, I don't see what that type of investment is doing. He ain't even the best in his weight in Essex. Hold on, let me just zoom in here. I don't know. Wait. I'd make the fight against fellow welterweight Kyle Usman in a heartbeat, but good luck to him. Good luck to him, and he's getting a few quid, and it is what it is. I would find definitely better place to spend my money on, better fighters to spend my money on. I don't see that investment, but maybe I'm getting older, and they know better than I do. I actually sent Hearn a little note about Benn. I'm not gonna say what I sent in the note, but I sent him a little note. Send him a text. I mean, some people dig out all these old interviews. One of them, especially, someone said, "Well, have a look at that, and I've got better things to do than piss around watching it." But I thought to myself, it reminded me when I got shot years ago. See, he always has to bring that up. In 1989. And there was a fighter who said, "Oh, I wish I was there. I would have took a bullet for him." I'm in the hospital, and a month later, he went over and signed for Barry Hearn. I remember sending him a message saying, "Where was you? Where was you?" Man, why does he talk like he's a 20-year-old Afro-Anglo from Georgia? Where was you when I needed you to take that bullet? So he's joking around, but so he's fighters have left him. I don't know how it will end. He says, "I never rated Chris Eubank Jr. at all." So he's criticizing Conor Benn's performance against Eubank Jr. I've seen him fight with a 70% fit Billy Joe Saunders. Bailey pissed the first 6 rounds. Everyone said it was a fight of 2 halves. It wasn't. He won 3 of the next 6. And okay, so he's shading on Chris Eubank Jr. and by extension Conor Benn. And he's saying that Conor Benn isn't worth the money that he's getting paid. Now, in the before last episode, I was saying, well, if TKO is going to pay Conor Benn 10 to 15 million, I'm going to assume that they're going to set him up for a big fight. Well, it's just been announced that the big opponent is Regis Prograis. And that fight will be taking place, Conor Benn versus Prograis will be taking place on the undercard of Tyson Fury versus Makhmudov. Now, Prograis did fight in the UK against Jack Catterall, and it was a interesting fight, not as boring as some other Jack Catterall fights. But guys, what do you think about this announcement that that the big fight is going to be Conor Benn versus Regis Prograis on an undercard?
Terrible fight. I think terrible fight. Everybody they're murdering it online. People can't understand it.
I mean, it's a showcase fight. Obviously, I think Prograis is going to probably get knocked out. Should get knocked out. This fight's at 150. So, I mean, Conor Benn can't even make 147. Regis Prograis is probably the first time he's fighting at 150. I mean, I know the fight's in the UK. It's in the undercard of Fury versus Makhmudov. So, kind of makes sense, to have another British popular boxer fighting in there. But it's a mismatch, and complete mismatch. And they're paying $50 million for this. That I can't understand that, though. I guess they're going to be splashing a lot of money. Or also, I guess they see a lot of value in Conor Benn, because $15 million just fighting an undercard against in a mismatch, it's crazy.
Well, that begs the question.
Loaded.
It begs the question too. How much is Tyson Fury getting paid to fight Makhmudov? I'm gonna look
I
it
don't
up,
know.
man. I'm gonna look it up because that is.
Yeah, look it up.
But because I mean, if Conor Benn's on the undercard, he's getting paid 10 to 15 mil. Some people were even saying on Twitter there was 20 million. Let's see. Well, I don't trust this AI overview here from whatchamacallit, from Google, but let's see what it says. It says, as of February 2026, there are no official finalized purse figures released for a specific fight between Fury and Magmudov. Rumors of a massive Saudi-backed deal exist. Reports have explicitly debunked exaggerated claims such as 500 million pounds. Yeah, come on. Who's 500 million pounds for that? That's insane. That wouldn't make sense. I mean, didn't Crawford and Canelo get 100 mil? That was the rumor, right? No. Wait, Crawford didn't get 100. Yeah. No, the Crawford apparently took a. They paid him less, and maybe that's why he's pissed off now, because he thought, well, after I beat him, I'm certainly going to be worth 100 million. Apparently not. For context, Fury's previous mega fights in Saudi Arabia, such as against Francis Ngannou, saw him earn roughly $50 million. Wow, when the latest list of highest earning athletes came out a couple of months ago, right? And I think Tyson Fury was in there. You know who we need? We need Gypsy Boxing to come in here. He knows everything about Tyson Fury. Favorite caller, how many dumps he takes a day. But I would assume then that he would probably get 20 mil, right? Tyson Fury?
Maybe that makes sense. He gets paid a lot of money.
I'd say it's more.
But that's the thing. Okay, so this is gonna be a stadium fight, right? This is gonna be a
on Netflix. Yeah, on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yeah, but the arena, Tottenham Stadium.
Arena, yeah, right.
Arena.
I always confuse stadium with arena. I don't know. Yeah. No, you're right.
It's a stadium. I mean, that's where they play. Fuck the Spurs.
So I mean, I don't know. Hey, we got Sobers jumping in here. Sobers, are you there?
Yo, what's up?
We were talking about first of all, thank you for being on. We were talking about the what happened with Frank Warren, where he's suing TKO, and then the Ring Magazine Twitter account said something about rumors indicate that they're suing because I'm paraphrasing here, because they're struggling to sell tickets for Fabio Wardley versus Dubois, and then they got community checked on X saying tickets aren't even on sale. So, which I don't even know if that's true or not. I don't even know if maybe they got access. Somebody got access to the pre-sales, if there is such a thing, and maybe they're projecting that it's not going to sell well. But people started going in on Ring Magazine saying, "Hey, it's a propaganda arm now for Turki Alalshikh." What do you make of all of this? It just every day there's something new coming out regarding TKO and the potential takeover of boxing. What do you make of all of this?
Well, I remember when we first started getting our introduction to Turkey, and everyone was just on the train, and he's going to save boxing. It's a golden era, and let him take it. Why not? He's putting on the fights. And it was good at first, but I just remember saying, like, at what point does at what point does the boxing fans' interest and his become a conflict of interest? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're seeing it. You know what I mean? He has his plans now, that what he wants to do with the sport. And you're seeing it in action. He wasn't just spending money because he's such a big boxing fan and he just wanted to see the best fights. He was setting something in place, and those eyes, bro, the eyes are always watching, dude. And
always scheming,
like evil, devilish eyes.
Always scheming.
Those evil, devilish eyes, scheming, rodent eyes.
So you think he got close to these promoters, Eddie Hearn, De La Hoya, and everything, just to like spy on them?
He snaked them. This is why what's his name is suing him, Frank Warren, because he said he had an exclusive deal with him with all the fights everything that's going on in the UK. Right, so he's supposed to have a bite in it, basically, and he said that he gave privileged information and access to. He gave it to the Turkey and his people, so they could see what's going on with the boxing world and stuff like that. But he did that like under the idea that, hey, we're business partners and you're only working with me on this kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he let them, service him and do whatever he wanted, and Yeah.
You make it sound like
they were doing, bro.
You make it sound like there were sexual favors involved or something. Well, go ahead.
No, but I mean, he was holding his hand, right?
Right.
And then, and what did they say, VD? That's supposed to be a sign of respect.
Right.
Where's the respect? Where's the respect now? They're suing each other. Where'd all the respect go?
They're probably going like, man, I held this guy's hand for nothing,
Exactly. So he let them teach him the ropes and everything like that. He, had his little buddies take everything down, and now, boom, he says, you know what? Fuck all you guys. I'm gonna work with MMA dude. So.
Yeah, but my question is, how do you not see this coming? I mean, I would have seen this coming.
The money,
a lot
Frank.
of people did.
The
Money, yeah,
Yeah,
the money was too much. It was too good. It was too good.
Yeah, but that's like letting some guy in your house, watch your wife. Yeah, I got it. I'll take care of her.
That's a hell of an analogy there of a
And when you come home,
They,
the
pro-
locks
they
are,
probably did it, and they probably did it. You know, what I mean, with Turkey.
she changes the locks, and your shit is on the porch. Like, thanks, friend. But how do you not see that coming?
I still maintain that Turkey is naked under that long thing there that he's got. I don't know what they call it over
Oh,
there.
bro.
Nothing, BDA. Nothing on. The only thing covering him is a thick layer of fur.
By the way, I'm looking for that picture that you had, Sobers, of where Turki Alalshikh is hiding behind a wall. I can't find it anymore.
Got you, bro.
I used to have. See, I save things and then they disappear. Anyway, but I gotta get better organized. But I got a question though. But Sursayer is on. Sursayer, jump
He wants
on,
to
man.
call in. That's gonna be trouble.
Fuck calling in. They'll have him jump in. I'm gonna invite him.
Really?
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh,
Why not? It's been a while. It's been years.
yeah.
Remember, he said he was gonna Luxmax. That's what he said. He was his. What do they call it? Back then, they used to call it the November arc, where you get all jacked and everything. He said, I'm gonna go get jacked, man. Living in the mountains.
The November arc.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? November. With me, it's always November, by the way. But
Right.
man, first of all, I can't even find.
Hey, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question about?
I'd rather you didn't.
You know, they're treating Conor Benn like royalty, right? Apparently, they announced his involvement with TKO during a WWE event.
Oh,
so imagine that, man. My question is, can this treating of Conor Benn like royalty backfire?
Oh, good question.
Because
definitely, it's already
how good
backfiring
is
because you see his fighters are upset with it, right? Some of the best MMA fighters are seeing that and they're just like, "What the fuck? You're doing that to throw your weight around, to send a message to these boxing guys." And like they said it themselves, like when you're playing it, they work all there, they would, put so much work in, whatever. None of their guys ever come like within a fart sniff of that kind of paycheck, and they're just throwing it at him just to prove a point, And Conor Benn's no good like that. He's not, Can he be a world champion at 154? No. Could he be a world champion at 147? Maybe. I mean, but that's like, I was talking with Boxing Chief earlier. I was like, what? Could the guys at 147, could any of them be champions in any of the past generations? At 147, could it, like Rolly, Haney, Ryan Garcia, Crawford, could any of them be champions in this generation behind them or further back ever?
You know what? I don't even know if they could have beaten Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a bad one. That was a bad one. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that's what I'm saying. I mean, this guy's not even that good.
Is Conor Benn even good enough to be a champion there?
No, I don't think either of those guys could. Maybe they could eke out a decision or something. You never know. But Keith Thurman, people forget how Keith Thurman was good. Yeah, he lost to a 40-year-old Pacquiao, but that's Pacquiao. Even at 40 years old, Keith Thurman,
Pacquiao broke him though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe Garcia could beat Sean Porter, or maybe Haney could beat him because they both like to wrestle, and I don't know, man. And Porter wasn't really a hard hitter, but even then, no, I think Porter had superior tenacity than those, and I think maybe that could overwhelm them. But your point remains, this welterweight division is very, very weak. And to Bucho's point or question about, could this plan backfire with Conor Benn on TKO? I think it could, because the guy's a jackass. That guy really, he's got a chip. No, it's not even he's got a chip on his shoulder. He thinks he's better than what he really is. And some people can say, well, don't you need to be confident in boxing? Yes, but sometimes that confidence is not commensurate with your actual abilities. And that this
his
dude,
biggest win is
everyone else can see it, but him, right?
Well, of course, that win against Chris Eubank Jr. got what's his expression to his head. Now he thinks he's the shit. But
it's tainted,
he was dehydrated,
right?
and
exactly. He was tainted, and then you had to do it twice. So you couldn't even beat him the first time. You had to do it to him twice.
Mm-hmm, that's true. And Eubank was
very
weight draining.
Surprised that they had a rematch with the same fucking thing.
And Eubank was weight draining both of them. He was only finally caught up to him in the second one. Although I will say that Chris Eubank Jr. did make adjustments in the second one, but even then, and then the way he jumps on the turnbuckle at the end, It's like, he starts screaming like he beat King Kong or something. He's like, come on, man. It's and then people have been posting on Twitter. Apparently, this guy fakes his accent because he grew up in Spain. I think because Nigel Benn moved to Spain and with his family. I think after he retired or something. And Conor Benn apparently went to the best schools and all that. But he puts on this Essex accent.
That explains the lisp.
No. I'm talking about Conor Benn.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lisp. His father does, but anyway, Conor Benn, he talks like, okay, I'll be, like he's from the streets or something. And then he was doing an interview.
Like the Cockney?
Well, a little bit, yeah. Well, not that. I don't know. I don't understand the difference between the accents. All I know is it's not the same accent. When he does these call-out videos, he's got a different accent. And then he was doing a sit-down formal interview with somebody over the internet. And he sounded like a prep school Yale, Oxford type of guy. Well, not a Yale, Oxford or Cambridge guy. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? It reminds me of Shakur Stevenson. He does the same thing. Sometimes he doesn't do it anymore, but he would go on these other interviews. And Thunderdome used to play those videos where he would compare how he would talk in front of white people. And then he'd go on a podcast with Afro Anglos. He'd, yo, man, what's like, he was really exaggerated. It's like, come on, man. Why do they got to fake it? What the fuck was that, man? Come on.
What the fuck was that?
But I was gonna say that. But I was gonna say this, man. That Conor Benn, like you said, could backfire because his character is a little bit grating. So maybe, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely gonna backfire because he's not that good.
I
heard he's gonna fight Regis Prograis. So I mean, that's good matchmaking for him. That's actually a good match for him, right? He could beat up Prograis, but are you gonna pay him $15 million to fight Prograis? Like for what?
They're doing it.
Yeah, you know what?
That just proves they have a lot of money, man.
Does anyone think? I think Prograis could give him a tough fight.
I don't think so. I think Jojo Diaz was giving him the beats.
Jojo Diaz got a guard. Conor Benn doesn't have a guard. He's like Ricky Hatton. He jumps in from the long range. He attacks, and you can clinch him, and they allow him to get clinched. And he has to reset and restart all over again. Jump in. He's not really a
Watch them make this fight. He at 154.
I think they said 150. Didn't you say that, Bucho?
150.
Yeah, 150. Yeah, 150.
Catch weight.
Prograis would look like a small 140 at some point. When Prograis fought Haney, he looked way smaller, man. He looked way smaller. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen with this fight, but wouldn't be surprised if Prograis, if Conor Benn doesn't take him out early, could get complicated. But then again, Prograis is in his 36 now, 37. Remember when he beat Cepeda, El Chon Cepeda, and that was in 2022, I want to say. That was the peak of Regis Prograis mania. He was already 35, I think. When he fought Haney, he was 35, and that was late 2023, right? So he's got to be what now, 37, close to 37. So I don't know. It could be trouble for him. I guess the guy like Conor Benn, who's explosive. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up here, don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Speaking of
hit the like, we're ending the show.
That's right. And we're not kidding around.
No, they don't believe us.
I wanted to bring this up here. Keith Thurman, of course, is going to be fighting Sebastian Fundora. And there was a clip here of him. This is from Fight Hub on Twitter. And they showed him working the pads. Look at that. He's there hitting the mitts. He's got a suit, like a sweat jacket on, which makes him... Those never really make you look good. They make you look fat. But I don't think he's fat because I've seen him with a shirt on. And his arms look big and all that. He doesn't look fat. But one thing he does look is a little bit slow. And I don't know if this was after sparring or he's just taking it easy. But one guy who noticed it was Devin Haney, who said, Keith looks old, bruh. So Devin Haney's old. I mean, the younger generation is thinking that this dude, bitch got old, as they say in the streets. What do you guys think?
Bitch got old.
Hey, Haney's calling out Sander Zayas. He should be calling out Fundora. Could you imagine that fight?
Nobody wants to fight Fundora.
No, of course not. That would be a great fight. But no, of course he's gonna go after Zayas. This guy's a pussy.
Oh,
telling you.
well, did you see the comments?
Yeah, I don't like fucking Haney.
Some people got angry at Bill Haney because he said that Devin Haney should be above Inoue pound for pound. I'm thinking, do people still get triggered? Look, Eddie Hearn said about it a year and a half ago that the Haneys are really trying hard now because they're not getting paid the money that they want to take the easier fights that they wanted after the Ryan Garcia debacle. So now I think Bill Haney always has to say something controversial to try to. He said something about Isaac Cruz or Mexican fighters that Latinos, they only have to do half as well as the Afro Anglo ones, and they get twice the praise.
All they have to do is show up,
right? And then the very same week he says that everyone's sucking off Tevin Farmer for going the distance against William Cepeda. So proved him wrong right there that weekend. Then he said something about Latino fighters 2 weeks ago. I don't really pay attention to what he says, and now he's saying this. This dude is desperate. He's really trying to stay relevant, and by extension keep his son relevant by saying dumb shit. And classic Bill Haney makes no sense what he says. He goes, when has Naoya Inoue ever fought? He's always got home court advantage. Fucker, hasn't he fought outside of Japan 4 times now? Whereas Devin Haney only fought twice.
I remember when Haney fought in Germany. You know,
why? Why? Because he started his career in Mexico. Did you see the guys he was fighting in Mexico? He was fighting a guy he was fighting a guy that looked like Beetlejuice, a Mexican version of Beetlejuice.
I was gonna say that Mexican Beetlejuice in a taqueria. Oh, was it in a restaurant? I'm serious, man. They had a ring in the middle of a fucking restaurant or something.
He was fighting the boxing scientist at my taqueria.
Oh, come on. See,
I had it set up. I had it all set up.
Small fee. What did he say when he called in? He said. Max Homer sucks off Turki Alalshikh more than Solver sucked me off. And I say, no, Solver doesn't nearly suck me off as hard as he should. That's what I say. But I was going to say that, okay, so Haney started his career off in Mexico. It's like as if he was fighting killers. He was fighting Julio Chavez every week. Then he fights in Australia twice, and it's against the same guy, against Cambosos.
I forgot about that.
And that's the other thing. Bill Haney goes, when was Inoue ever the underdog? And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Maybe Devin Haney was the underdog against Norman. I think we'd have to check, right? But I think he was like that 2-1 underdog, and he wasn't because Norman was
an underdog. Yeah.
No. Haney wasn't an underdog against Norman Jr.
Well, could you check, please? Because I don't.
I can check, but no, that's.
You can check. I'll check. Haney, Norman Jr. odds.
He was.
Oh, he was coming off that loss against.
But that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So let's say
he was coming off that terrible performance with Ramirez.
Exactly. That's
I forgot about that fight. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So he's trying to paint it out as if Norman was his Golovkin level fighter, which some people did. That's why a lot of people picked Norman to win because they thought, he's a knockout artist. He's gonna knock out Haney. Meanwhile, a lot of us knew that
somebody says he was 50-50.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm thinking with you.
I'm looking at the odds here. They say -112, -112 for both. So. Even then, the guy wasn't the under. Even then, even though Haney looked horrible,
even then he wasn't the underdog.
But that's the thing, though. The reason why maybe Bill Haney thought that Norman Jr. was the underdog, the favorite, was because, like you guys said, Devin Haney looked horrible. He got beat up by Ryan Garcia, despite whatever anyone wants to say. Ryan Garcia made him shit his pants. Then he looked horrible against a shot, or I'm not going to say shot, but an over-the-hill Jose Ramirez.
Shot, man.
And he ran and clinched his way to a decision. And even the Brian Norman fight, which I know a lot of people were impressed by for some reason, it was a clinch fest. It was a jab and clinch fest, a jab and grab fest. So I don't understand how people get hypnotized by this BS, man. But that's really why a guy like Bill Haney can succeed in boxing, because people are easily swayed by his BS. He just thought.
But you just said he's running. They know they're running out of options.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an attraction. People are connecting his name, putting it next to Ryan Garcia. That's a big fight. But see how Haney's trying to find another opportunity, another big fight, but he doesn't know where to go, so he starts calling out Zayas.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's pathetic, but they don't have any options, man. And he will have to go to Puerto Rico probably to fight Zayas.
That's right, yeah.
To have maybe New York, but he doesn't have a fan base. He doesn't have any options.
And Zayas is a clincher too, against what's his name, Perez, the guy who beat the 154-pound dark horse too. That was a clinch fest, and he was one of BDA's 2025 clincher of the years. He wasn't the clincher of the year, but he was one of the candidates. But yeah, the Haneys, they're looking for calculated risk. I remember I said it. I kept saying it in the morning shows that I did in the build-up to Haney versus Norman Jr. I said it's a calculated risk. They're taking this fight because they know they have a very good chance of beating Norman Jr. And after the fight, someone goes, two people went like, BDA picked Norman to win, and he's not giving Haney any credit. Like, fucker, did you even listen to the shows? I can't believe some people don't listen. It's like the Sean O'Malley guy, Conor Benn. I don't know who he is. Why is he getting 15 million? Like Bucho say, well, why don't you do a 5-minute search on the guy and you'll realize why they're paying him that much money. We got Frank returning here. Frank, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the conversation.
Sir.
I don't know if you
I have.
You got anything to add about that? About Bill Haney saying Haney should be his son Devin should be ahead of Inoue pound for pound?
Yeah, this should be studied. Like a sociology, is that where you study culture and societies?
Anthropology too, yeah.
And, I was just gonna say that, but I didn't want to be too racy.
Everybody on Discord is an anthropologist.
I don't know what that has to do. Well, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I took one anthropology class, and it was about the missing link. So But this is a perfect example of him using his privilege. You hear white privilege, right? But this is, I guess, the reverse of it. He wants to pit himself. Back in the day, I'm gonna be long-winded here. Is that okay?
Sure. Take your time.
The Sugar Rays and Oscars, they tried to be with the commercial, like try to be squeaky clean, almost being selling out. They were called sellouts. Let's just be real, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going with it? So this new era, they want to be anti-establishment. So it's me against the world. That the whole rap thug appeal. Oh, it's me against the world. They don't want to see us win. You not like us. You hear these phrases. So he's just doing the blueprint, the Fraud Mayweather blueprint. Oh, they don't want to see me lose, and that's all he's doing. So you have to be able to see through it.
Well, you know what? That's a good point because Shakur Stevenson, I was recently going to some archives here, some of the tweets he made after the Hartunonian fight, which again, that was the fight where his hometown fans were walking away from the arena before the fight even ended. And he wrote something along the lines of, they want to keep a proud Afro-Anglo down. But I think, why? So does he really think there's a conspiracy against Afro-Anglos, that athletes? In fact, the way I see it, they're put on a pedestal. I mean, look at how much praise Crawford gets, or how much Shakur got after the Teofimo Lopez, or even how much he was getting way before he beat Teofimo Lopez. So I just don't see this victimhood that they talk about. And I know we've talked about this ad nauseum before, but I try to stay away from it now because it's just been covered so many times. But yeah, you're right though, Frank. You bring up a good point. It's this whole charade of smokes and mirrors.
Well, the point behind it is, before it sounds like I'm being biased or prejudiced, is that it's because he actually has the machine behind him. That's my take. My belief is it's like he's using this to sell these brain dead fans. Oh yeah, they against us. They don't want to see us win. They want to see the Puerto Rican or the Mexican on top, and God forbid a white heavyweight. Right?
Actually, the opposite, right? And they're acting like as if they're put down in a situation where, bro, it's not apathy, bro. We're not in the 1960s no more. And they know this. A lot of these people know this shit, and they see these people walking around with the white guilt on their face, and ready to kiss somebody's. Oh, I'm ready to spit shine your shoes and shit, and they take advantage of it. And they lean into that shit. It's not. They're not that fucking dumb. You know what I mean? It's on purpose. There's Crawford. Every time I see him in front of a camera, all he does is just fucking cry. He just cries about how he doesn't get enough credit, or how come they always want the African American fighter to do this, and I just feel as though they that. Shut the fuck up, bro. He's always crying, bro. That motherfucker's always crying.
Yeah, it's true. We're gonna get to that.
You said it though. They got but it's really the machine behind them. That's the ironic thing is, they're laughing amongst each other like, oh, these fools believe this shit.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just reiterating what you said. Agreeing with what you're saying. You're right.
And yeah, that's my contention. But like Sober say, yeah, it really is. They have the machine, and I'm gonna stand by that.
Now we're gonna get to the Crawford thing there, the comments he made. But Don Chingazos in the Discord posted this picture here because again we got Navarrete versus Sugar Nunez this Saturday via the Zone, and it says here in Spanish. They're declaring themselves ready for a war. Emmanuel Vaquero Navarrete and Eduardo Sugar Nunez are ready for the weigh-ins this Friday, and they're getting ready to go up on the ring on the 28th of February. Who is your favorite? And look, they have... Oh, I got the Discord thing there. Fuck. Stupid. Anyway, Sugar Nunez, look at how in shape he is. And look at Navarrete. Well, even though that thing there is blocking him, ready for war. I mean, if this was a bodybuilding contest, I mean, it would be a no contest.
Navarrete is the same shape as that little square image box right there.
He's a fridge. Yeah, you're right. He's shaped like a fridge. I mean, I don't know, man. Navarrete is I know he's never had the cut up physique, and you don't really need it in boxing, but knowing that he's eating Twinkies during interviews and downing the chelas in between training camps, it's not a good look, man. That's why I've lost a lot of confidence in him. He's become the hot and cold fighter, this dude. Can't trust him. Like Turki Alalshikh around your wife. You can't trust him, like Frank said. By the way, shout out to Sobers for procuring me with the pictures there. That they will. I don't know if he made it, but it's Turki Alalshikh right around the corner. This is when you're walking down, if you're a fighter and after the weigh-in and all that, and you're walking around down there in the location, all of a sudden you see this. And you hear whispering.
All right, BDA, you're just left the Versace temple, right? You know what I mean? You just finished doing the interview. They tell you, oh, hey, here's the way to the showers. And you're like, shower? I don't need a shower. And they're like, here's the way to the showers. And you're like, okay, whatever. Right there, you kind of do your thing and shit. You hear, you turn around and shit, and then you see, boom, you see the little reflection of the light in his glasses, and there goes Turkey, bro. You know what I mean? Now you know why there's a shower there for no reason.
There's a shower at the Versace temple. Yeah, you're right. And there's stains there.
And he starts showing you his little pinky, his little stinky pinky.
Oh, all right. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Hit the like really helps us out. JV in the chat says that is disturbing. LOL. Yeah, that is indeed quite something right there. I wanted to get to this here real quick. We had the Dubois versus Wardley press conference. Dubois is fast becoming one of my favorite fighters in press conferences because it's not. He's always got that stupid look on his face, like he's got a vacant head, vacant. He's got no thoughts in there, and he's always just smiling. And I'm thinking, this dude, does he think at all, or But anyway, then he's trash talking. Then it makes it even funnier because he's got such a neutral face, like he doesn't even know what he's saying. So the press conference actually had some highlights because there was this distilled, understated hostility, particularly between the managers. So I'm going to show it to you here just a little bit without further prevarication here. Hold on a second. All right.
Pedigree, what I have, you're gonna see on the night.
And do you think it has to be a knockout either way on May the 9th?
Heavyweight boxing's knockouts, but I want to show my skills. Showcase what maybe you haven't seen before from me, and do it in amazing, devastating fashion.
First of all, he's promising a knockout too, by the way. And he's gotta be how do you guys think he's feeling right now? The fact that he had a shot at Usyk and he actually did worse than he did in the first one. I wonder how his mentality is right now.
Who are we talking about?
Daniel Dubois versus Wardley.
Well, didn't he have like some big ass party before that fight?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe he's just one of these guys that he doesn't really think about it too much. Like you said, there's athletes like that. They don't mull over it. They don't really get too fearful or too confident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you're right though. Maybe that's why he succeeded in the 3 fights prior to the Usyk rematch. That he was the underdog, I think, in all of them, and yet because he doesn't overthink it, he just goes in there and performs. Although now I have to wonder how he's going to perform after getting stomped by Usyk in under 5 rounds. And he really did. You guys think he quit in the second fight as well?
I mean, it's hard to say quit, but I mean, could he get up? Could he continue? You can always say, yeah, I think a guy could have continued, and he decided not to. Is that quitting, or it's like knowing you were beat?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. That's a good question because it was under 5 rounds. It was relatively early in the fight, and he just got dropped twice, and then he just sort of stayed down. So I don't know, man. But the interesting thing here is in this press conference, Sam Jones. I don't know if that's his manager or whatever. I never heard of this guy before. I don't really pay attention to that, but he had a lot to say, and then Wardley's manager had a lot to say as well. So check this out.
I believe, and I can say this wholeheartedly, Fabio knows I respect him greatly as a person. I really do. But I do think Daniel will flatten him, and I think it will be very, very fast as well. You can't compare the two CVs. Fabio's CV, listen, he's beat who's been put in front of him, and he's done it.
By the way, I know Chief has complained when we call when we talk about a fighter's record, what do they call it? Not the record, the resume. He goes, what is this, a job interview? This guy's actually calling it a CV. I don't know if that's a UK thing, because in Canada too they call it a CV, but Chief must be boiling over in anger.
Wardley looks like he's going to a job interview the way he's dressed.
He does, doesn't he? Gypsy said he looks like a 1930s gangster, and it's true. He looks like one of those old school gangsters from the 1930s when they were the face, something about the face. You can't really put your finger on which ethnicity he is or where he's from. He's a mix of everything, like one of those generated players in Knockout Kings or whatever. Not Knockout Kings, Fight Night. You know, they just make him look a little bit of everything so that it appeals to everybody.
He's racially ambiguous, right?
Exactly.
Dramatic, emphatic style, which is the reason why he's on pay-per-view. But comparing the two CVs, in my opinion, would be like comparing Sonia Jackson to Jennifer Lopez. You can't do it. Daniel Dubois, for me, is going to win this fight, and it's going to be pretty fast and pretty violent.
When that bell goes and we take 3 steps back and they take 3 steps forward, Fabio is going to be right in his face and he's going to be giving him hell. And I believe once you've quit once, it becomes easier to do it again. And he's done it on a number of occasions. I think they need to worry about what's going on over there in their team.
Fucking Frank Warren's dying, man. What the fuck?
You know, he left Don Charles, came back, so those insecurities are still there. And we're there to capitalize on that. And I think on the night, Fabio Wardley is going to destroy Daniel Dubois early, especially after coming off the loss that he just had.
So the managers are not even the fight. The managers are promising knockouts. So now that the fighters have to deliver.
And like I said, all the stuff that's going on in their camp, it's going to be very hard for him to overcome that and to beat Fabio Wardley. To be fair, the only person really that should be up there is Stan, because we know Stan makes all the decisions. So, you know,
you have to bank on all those things, though. You have to bank on the fight being mental. You have to hold on to all of those things. But in reality, it's going to come down to who's a better fighter, and that's Daniel Dubois.
It's going to come down to a lot of things. It's a fight. So when your chin gets touched,
you have to hope that's
when your chin gets touched, then you, like you said, you wake up to that reality. Every press conference, Daniel Dubois said that he's going to destroy the person. This is the best he's ever been, blah, 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 Michael. And then when the bell goes, we see the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not quite true, though, because Dubois, again, that run that he had, those 3 fights, okay, maybe they might have been overrated, and maybe even the Joshua win might have been overrated, but he showed that he can crack. And Dubois did, and he's got quicker hands than most people expect for a guy his size.
Are we in agreement, though? That Fabio's never been hit with a 10-ounce glove by someone like Daniel Dubois? Justice Hooney, Fraser Clark, with greatest respect, Joseph Parker, not in the same stratosphere of power. When Daniel taps him with the right hand, what's going to happen then? Never mind mental battles or Usyk. Hey, listen, Usyk whoops everybody. Usyk whoops everybody.
This is heavyweight
boxing, and Daniel Dubois has proven. Look at his heavyweight CV. He's winning this fight. He'll win it in dramatic fight. And you have to hold on to every little thing, every small thing. Going back to Don Charles. Listen, yes, he went and trained somewhere else, and yet he's gone back to Don Charles.
Why did he go back to Don Charles?
Because that's where he feels comfortable.
That's where.
And you're going to see the end result of that.
In the first place?
And with the greatest,
because there was something missing.
And with the great.
That is a good question, though. Why did he leave Don Charles? Initially, Don Charles, because Frank was alluding to the story there about Daniel Dubois partying the day of the fight. Was that?
I'll tell you why he left BDA, because he was making him look like an absolute fool before the fight, questioning his God and all that. Like, I know about street fights, and we can go back here. You know what I'm saying? All that dumb shit he was saying before the fight, just so he's the first guy to get knocked the hell out like that.
Yeah, and under 5 rounds. And then Don Charles was talking about how there's going to be an internal investigation from Queensberry to figure out what exactly happened.
Yeah, he was.
And then he was saying, well, it wasn't really a party.
Some crazy shit.
And then he was saying, well, it wasn't really a party. It was more of a gathering. Well, what the? I mean, he's using synonyms now. But so he was saying that it wasn't a big deal. He'd done it before. They'd done it before for the Joshua fight. But then he says there's going to be an investigation. Why would there be an investigation? And then he ended up getting the boot. And then Dubois does return to Don Charles. So I do think Don Charles is good for Dubois, but it does beg the question, who was responsible for Charles leaving in the first place? Or for him being kicked out away in the first place? Something's not adding up here. Mr. BDA doesn't like it. Let's continue here.
Disrespect, you'll see the end result of that, because it will result in Daniel Dubois becoming a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
The fuck did he say? What did he say at the end?
Becoming a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
What the hell is that? Bupe. Is that a Bucho? You know more about the UK thing. Is that a soccer thing? Or? All right. I don't know what's going on, man.
In Daniel Dubois becoming a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Bupe. We got to get some of our British audience listeners there, some of in the community. Please tell us what the hell is that about? Is that a London thing? Get it up. People are saying. Casamigos in the chat says get it up. J. Cole said it's get up.
Some hooligan stuff.
Ram Planet says he said get up. Get up. Get what up? I don't get it though. Get up like Tyson Fury says, Grant. I don't know. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to clip it. Hold on. What the hell?
In Daniel Dubois becoming a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
It doesn't even sound like get up. It's like you. It's like he's having a small stroke or something.
Why he left is, look, you don't have to be a genius to work it out. The reason why he left is because there was something missing. You don't leave if everything is great. You leave because there's something missing. So obviously there was
Keep
something.
holding on
he
to
left,
it. Keep
he left.
holding
I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. Have
Keep
some
holding
manners.
on. Keep
have some
holding on.
manners. Have some
I've
manners.
got plenty of manners. I've got plenty, but I have to intervene sometimes.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that you're up here for. You don't do nothing else.
And how do you know that? Listen, Michael, you're an expert. You're an expert on everything. You're an expert on ring walks. You're an expert on ring walks. You're an
These guys
expert.
talk more shit than the boxers.
It's true, but yeah.
I forgot there's two boxers fighting. I forgot who the fuck. What's going on? I mean, these guys are going at it as if they're about to step into the ring. It's crazy. And then, like you said, they promise a knockout. Like the fighters never said that, right? Like Dubois here promises you a knockout. Like, well, he never said that. Like he's putting words in his mouth.
And they started upping the ante. Ridiculous. Listen, he's gonna knock him out in under 2 rounds. 2 rounds. No, well, guess what? Wardley's gonna knock him out in under 1 round. They're gonna make him look bad.
He's betting he's gonna bet his whole purse that he's gonna knock him out. Like, you know what I mean? He's ready to bet.
I bet you Daniel Dubois' freedom.
Shake on it. I'll shake on it for him.
I bet you Daniel Dubois' freedom that he knocks you out. Oh man, this is fantastic.
The path. You're a much more intelligent than me. You're a Swiss Army knife.
100%.
Listen, I've been doing this a hell of a long time.
That's why we've got the belt here. Because
I've been doing this a hell of a long time.
We've had from the start.
A hell of a long time.
All I can say to all that, talk is cheap. I normally got a lot to say, but you know what?
Oh yeah, this is the best part. So check that. He says, I don't have a lot to say, but check this out.
Choose to be silent today. I want to talk about today and what's going to happen on the 9th of May, and that's all. Talk is cheap. Daniel doesn't have to prove nothing. He's only ever lost to one man twice. Usyk. He's demolished everybody else orthodox that's been put in front of him.
Do you notice how he said demolished? He stole that from me.
Joyce.
He stole that from. Oh yeah. Hey, yeah. What the hell? He forgot Joyce. Did somebody say that?
Yeah, according to them, he didn't lose to Joyce because Dubois was inexperienced. That's what they said.
Maybe that's what it means.
So, yeah, that didn't happen.
He's demolished everybody else orthodox that's been put in front of him. Nothing changes on the 9th of May. Period.
Joe Joyce?
Pardon me? The Joe Joyce fight was too early for him at the time.
Oh.
Who's Fabio lost to?
Pardon me?
Who has Fabio?
No, he hasn't lost, but who has he faced?
Oh, it does not count.
Yeah, it doesn't register. Yeah.
So Parker was the number 1 choice out there.
Right, and
Justice Hooney.
Wait.
Justice Hooney, I believe.
And carry on.
90% of heavyweights out there.
Carry on.
Fraser Clark.
Carry on.
What did Fabio do to Fraser Clark?
Carry on.
It's only because Fabio's a very respectful person.
Anyway, like I said, talk is cheap.
If it was me there,
you won't hear any
I
more
would be
from
still
me.
gloating about what I done to Fraser
cheap.
Clark.
So he said he wasn't going to say a lot, and then he starts going back and forth with this dude. But I mean, one could make the argument though, like this dude Michael Offo or whatever his name is, brought up the Wardley versus Parker fight, but that was an early stoppage. So they need a little bit of help there to get out of the ring with the win. That's all I'm going to say.
talk is cheap.
I'm not gonna say a lot.
It's talk is cheap, but we're here to talk. We're here to sell the fight. And the reality is that when that bell goes,
Sell it correctly.
when that bell goes, I promise you, Fabio Wardley is going to be in Daniel Dubois' face, and there's nothing that any of you guys
Not
will
when
be
that
able
big
to
He's
do.
still talking down.
Yeah, they're still going, man. And this is the edited version, by the way.
Horrible
To
jab.
stop
It's his
what
teeth.
Fabio Wardley is going to do to him.
Big
Sorry,
horrible jab.
if I can interject.
Hey, look how fucking Don Charles said he wasn't gonna say anything. He wasn't gonna say much. Now he's interjecting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell?
Oh man.
I dare you to fight like that. Okay? I dare you to approach the fight like that. It'll be even over quicker than you can blink. Don't blink.
I'm full of confidence for this one. Full of confidence, raring to go. And I've got to take his all. I'm going to be the first man to do it. And, I'm just can't wait to go, man.
Your man Sam Jones says you flattened.
If you're wondering why they're talking so much for him,
Is that what you're seeing
and then
as
as
well?
soon as you hear this
victory.
elf open his mouth, this caveman drool, and try to form a sentence with his mouth, then you understand why they have to speak for him.
I mean, hey,
You know what I mean?
you're right, man. You're right. It's
Him scribble and drip through a sentence, with all 50 of his teeth.
he's like a shark, right? He's got 2 rows of teeth.
he has 100 teeth.
Oh man, but I gotta tell you, as far as press conferences go, this one was good because it didn't seem fake. It was mostly a spectacle because of the managers, and then they're speaking with a lot of passion. And like you said, then Daniel Dubois starts talking. He's like, I think I'm gonna knock him out. And... Oh shit! What the fuck?
I like the cookie. I like the cookie.
Remember when White Replay would say that the Errol Spence in the back in the dressing room before the Crawford fight, and everyone's there clapping, and he was like, Spence was like, when are we gonna go get some ice cream? Are we gonna go get some ice cream after the fight? He was very mentally challenged after the fight.
By knockout, by any means necessary, but victory.
My power is proven first round, last round, one way or another. If there's time left on the clock, I'm taking you out of that fight. Like, you're not making it to the final bell. And I know a lot has been made of the back and forth with Don and Daniel and their moving trainers. And honestly, for me, like, 1 trainer, 2 trainer, no trainers, I couldn't give a shit. It means nothing to me. He's not going to get in the ring and help him. All it's going to be, the bell's going to go. It's going to be me and Daniel, and I'm going to be staring in his face, throwing bombs at him, and we're going to see if he can weather the storm, which...
Look at Dubois, man. His eyes are just drifting all over the place. Like
They're glazed over. Like, you ever seen those kids that they say... Have you ever heard a parent talk about when they noticed that their kid got autism? And they talk about how it happened when they got a vaccine, like they gave them a shot.
Oh.
Like, their eyes were fine, 1 second, and then after we gave them the shot, got a glazed over look, and they just would give 1,000-yard stare.
Well, that's what they...
That's the
right.
look Dubois gives right now, and just listen to him. Listen to Wardley talk. I thought it was one of the managers talking right now. Straight, clean, clear sentences. He's saying a lot. And what did Dubois say?
It's true, man. You're right. As soon as Wardley started speaking, I said, "Oh, there's a big difference between the way Wardley speaks and the way Dubois does."
Look, if we're looking at proven records, it proves that when things get dicey, he's not really up for it. He's not really game for it. So we're going to really see on the night who's really got what it takes to come through and take their
I've got
name.
what it takes, mate. You're going to see on the night. I've got what it takes, boy.
We're going to find...
I mean, you look at... He's always got that smile on his face when he's talking. Look at that. Like, he doesn't even believe what he's saying. He's like, oh, I can't believe I'm speaking. Like, he's hearing himself talking. He can't believe it, that the words are actually coming out of his mouth.
He tries to respond back with, I got what it takes, boy. And then he gives like that big, dumb, sheepish grin.
Like he thinks he really delivered. Yeah.
Like, burn
I gotta tell you, he's entertaining me, that's for sure.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out if he's really got what it takes.
Daniel, what happens May the 9th?
All right, so then it's what happens? I mean, who knows, man? But they did have a face-off, and Dubois, again, back to his old tactics. Remember in the rematch against Usyk, he ended up shoving Usyk, and he still had that dumb, vacant look on his face. Like, sometimes when people shove each other, they have that, like, fuck you, they have that anger. He didn't have anything. It's almost like he just shoved him, and then he's looking at him like, whoa, did I do that? I'm telling you, there's something up with the guy. But anyway, same thing here. Check this
The
out.
disassociative look.
Yes, there's like a depersonalization thing going on or something. Like he's not really seeing life through his own eyes or something like that. Like he said, there's like a fourth spectator or something. But check this out.
Look, the boy's like unga bunga man.
And then instead of walking away, like he snubbed him. Like, no, I'm not gonna. He just looked down at the face and said no. And then he stops and comes back. Look, he starts smiling. Like, why did you just leave, man? Why did you just leave? Why do you get
Yo, he doesn't know what's going on.
Because he's autistic, bro. He came back like, oh, you can tell me, like, you thought they're gonna have a conversation now.
Exactly. Look at him. He just starts, and then he looks around like, well, why did I do? What? He doesn't understand what he's doing. And then he starts tugging at his pants. Like his diapers, his adult diapers there. I mean, come on. I don't know what's going on here, man. But I'm looking forward to the fight.
Diapers.
Our Planet says Dubois cool. He's just weird. I don't know, man. I think he's more weird than cool. Arm hating on Dubois. Arm Planet says Dubois is like a kid. He says something, and then when people goad him on, he repeats it with a big cheesier grin on his face, like a kid being patronized. Dwayne Skydog Allman says Daniel Dotist. Dr. R. Danny says looks like Goomba from Super Mario movie. He does look like that. Now that you mention it, he looks like that from the movie, which I never.
Perfect.
That's the only thing I remember from the movie, by the way. But let's bring it up. What was it called? The Goomba from the Mario movie? Super Mario with
right. John Leguizamo.
Right, and Dennis Hopper for some reason.
Yeah, that movie was fucking.
Yeah,
weird.
Dennis Hopper was Cooper.
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, made no. I remember when I watched that movie a long time ago, and I don't even remember.
What's the deal? Yeah, how is this related to the fucking game? I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, look at that shit. That's Daniel Dubois.
Let's see if we can get a better angle here. Yeah, he does. I mean, come on. No one
He
can
even
say
acts
that.
like the. Oh, it's funny too, because I'll say he looks like one of the locusts from Gears of War.
Yeah, you did say that a while back, and he did look like it. But this is dare I say, more apt comparison. Look at that. He just turns back. Anyway, man, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Hey, listen, I'm looking forward to the fight. It's two big punchers going at it. So I'd be surprised. I mean, maybe it could turn into a bore fest because neither guy wants to commit, but that's not the way they've been fighting lately. So should be interesting. When is this taking place again? April?
May the 9th of May, the Zone pay-per-view.
They better put on a good undercard. That's all I'm gonna say. Otherwise, I might be heading over to the taqueria to watch it there. If you know what I mean. Let's get to another thing here. Terrence Crawford was on the JRE podcast. That's the Joe Rogan podcast for those of you that are unaware. And I haven't watched it because the first time he was on, I didn't finish all of it because it was mostly Bomac talking. Then he was there for a second time and I couldn't get through it. That type of stuff. So he was back there for a third time and I didn't watch it, but people were talking about this clip here. Check it out.
Why is it only the black fighters that gotta talk shit to sell? Like
well,
that?
in MMA, it's white fighters too.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
No. Conor McGregor, you know, I say he one of us. You know, because they was treated like black people over there where he from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah, a lot of Irish slaves.
You know, they was.
Yeah.
They
You
was
know where
treated-
he from is.
Yo, he got shafted. He was like, well, he's Irish, you know. Come on. He was playing the race.
He thought that was a
card.
good comeback too, Bucho. He thought that was a clever fight back.
Yeah, you know, back in the 1800s.
He
you
one
know,
of
it's like,
us,
come on.
damn. Where he from is. They treat
He
him
got
like
that
them
from-
us.
He immediately started thinking about the Gangs of New York movie. You know, like, come
Exactly.
on.
And Joe Rogan just went with it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, Joe tries to sound like a hip white guy, you know, like, hey, I'm not one of those white guys.
Mm-hmm. I'm Italian. I'm half Italian. It's like, come on.
You know.
Well, I mean, he disproved what he was saying before he even finished the sentence.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, you know, it's kind of strange. Like, I don't know. It was like a weird response from Crawford. He one of us, you know.
By the way, I've
Treat
never
him like us,
So
where
people
he's
are
from.
expecting Irish boxers
What?
to do the same thing and talk trash, and
Right.
and what's even talk trash? Like, I mean, it happens everywhere, but I mean, sometimes they do talk trash, sometimes they don't talk trash. Is he talking about the brawls and the riot? Like, not riots, but you know, there's like what happened at the Teofimo Lopez fight during the, I think it was a press conference. Remember, there was Bill Haney got into a fight.
Yeah.
Haney's,
Mid-jump
yeah,
Tiger Johnson.
they got kicked out. Is that what he's talking about? I think that's what he's talking
Well,
about.
I'd be
'Cause
curious.
actually, BD, what did he mention? What did he say during the Spence press conference when he was fighting Spence that they were
The Spence,
people in the crowd?
Yeah,
go
Spence
ahead.
was always. Spence has never been a big trash talker. Or he has said in the past, like I'm gonna make it look not easy, but like I'm gonna perform well and stuff like that. It's gonna be a beat down, man down or whatever. But it was his fans who were doing, or his family, entourage, whatever. They were doing a lot of jawing towards Crawford, and this was in the last press conference. And there was a guy wearing a wife beater. And he kept yelling out something at Crawford, and Crawford said, hey, let's calm down, because then whenever this type of stuff escalates, they're always going to come at us and say that this always happens when we get together, talking about Afro Anglos. And then within a couple of seconds, he starts yelling at the guy saying, you a bitch, you a bitch, you a bitch, N-word, you a bitch. And then they almost got into a fight. But yeah, I don't know why they were, like, if you rewatch that press conference, the Spence side, they keep talking and yelling, and you hear that too when the Haneys are in a press conference. There's always people in the crowd going, and you always hear screaming in the background while someone's talking, especially the Ryan Garcia build.
Something like that.
Yeah, and you're thinking, why?
And you.
There's something weird, but let's keep hearing what he had to say.
They was treated like black people over there where he from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah, a lot of Irish slaves.
They was treated just like us.
Sure.
So, I consider him one of us.
But why wouldn't it? Could you say, well, Afro Anglos were treated like Irish people? Like, why does it have to be like they what is he trying to intimate that they got the monopoly on slavery? That they were the first slaves? I don't understand what he's saying. It's very ambiguous here, very vague.
Yes, but at the same time,
right?
In boxing, it's always the black fighters gotta be the ones that step out and play this circus role, and be the one to talk shit and have everybody hate them. But the ones that don't, like Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Tim Bradley, they boring or they can't sell things.
Rewind that. Did you rewind that?
Which part?
The last 5 seconds.
Be the one to talk shit and have everybody hate them, but the ones that don't, like Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Tim Bradley, they boring or they can't sell things like that.
Pause that. Okay. Break it. Let's break that. He just threw a bunch of names without even thinking. Andre Ward, he wasn't unpopular not because he didn't trash talk, but because he fought in a boring fashion. That's
true.
Pretty much it. He was boring as hell. Didn't want to take risks. Then at the end, he finally moved up to light heavyweight and fought Kovalev.
Well,
should have lost the first fight.
When you say he didn't want to take risks, you mean in regards to him fighting in Oakland most of the time, or even
in everything, fight the opposition, the opponents. And then when he fought some decent guys like Froch and Kessler, he had to be in Oakland, of course. So that's not taking risks.
Or California, whatever.
He could have fought. Yeah, California. He could have gone to Denmark, Germany, whatever.
The UK.
He never tried to do that. And and that guy was boring because, again, his style. And then he says Timothy Bradley. Who has ever said Timothy Bradley was boring?
No,
some of his fights were boring, but we remember the Provodnikov fight.
And
that was a good fight.
An underrated one is when he fought Kendall Holt, because at the time Kendall Holt was it was considered a big fight for boxing fans. Kendall Holt could punch and he had fast hands, and he dropped Timothy Bradley early. It was a big knockdown, and Timothy Bradley took the fight to him. He took the fight and then he got dropped again in the 12th, but he was running down against a big puncher. So I watched the first televised Tim Bradley fight, which was against Junior Witter. I think that was the first televised fight. And I watched all of his subsequent televised fights. I never said, "Oh, Timothy Bradley's boring."
Yeah, sometimes he wasn't the most exciting boxer, but he wasn't considered boring like a Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. And to say that he was called, supposedly he was being called boring because he didn't trash talk, that doesn't make any sense. That's not the reason why somebody would have called him boring. Just like Andre Ward, he wasn't called boring because he didn't talk trash, because he just, like I said, he was boring inside the ring.
It's a great
point.
He
says Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is boring. I don't know if people have said Terence Crawford is boring. I think what people complain about Terence Crawford is that he wasn't fighting all these other welterweights for whatever reason. He wasn't fighting this. And then he was fighting once a year from 2020 to 2025, once a year. Pretty much it. But I don't think Crawford has ever been criticized for being boring. So this guy's playing the victim, right? Nobody has ever said he was boring.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, though, is that the lack of exposure from him. He goes, well, I should have been a bigger star and everything, but you're fighting once a year. And some people could say, well, what about Usyk? Well, Usyk is fighting heavyweights. So, and he's fighting guys that are much bigger than him. So there is that dimensional, visible outline there that people go, oh, he's up against it. Whereas Crawford, after the Spence fight, he takes on Madrimov. Most people outside of ourselves here, hardcore boxing fans, most people didn't know who Madrimov was. In 2020, he fought Kell Brook. 2021, Sean Porter, but I mean, it's not like nobody had ever beaten Sean Porter before. 2022, he takes on Avenisian. So it's not like he wasn't lighting the world on fire with those fights. You know what I mean? So maybe that also explains it. And like you're right, Bucho, is like whoever said, man, I'm not going to watch Andre Ward because he doesn't trash talk. Like you said, he had a horrible style, a lot of clinching, a lot of elbowing and headbutts and low blows. And Timothy Bradley, for whatever reason, he wasn't. And again, there's plenty of guys out there that are good that people don't know about. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they like trash talk. They like trash talking. And we've talked about it before on this channel, how some people have tried that Conor McGregor approach of, oh, I'm not that way, but I'm going to try to be a trash talker so I can attract people. And it looks lame, and it actually backfires on them.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of the guys he fought that you mentioned, right? They were like, say, Kell Brook and Sean Porter. It was basically their retirement fights, right? They retired right after that. So that's why there's like little asterisks. People kind of look at the win a little bit sideways. Right. Kell Brook had both his eye sockets already shattered at that point. And then all Crawford did was basically activate an old scar. Like, he just broke an old broken bone already. So he was literally damaged goods. And then, say he beat Canelo, cool. It's the Crawford era. Now they're talking about the potentially a rematch, and he's probably get paid himself double than he did in the first fight. And what's he do? He retires. So I was even complaining that he don't get enough exposure, bro. When it was time for you to really harness that, you fucking retired. So
yeah, and now he's retired, but he's going on this nonstop tour of media appearances. Even there was a clip there where he was at the Clarissa Shields fight and some woman accosted him. I don't understand really the context, but she was saying that he said he owes her money or something. What happened?
Here, he said that here. Why don't you just play the video? I'll put it in the chat right here.
Fantastic. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, but what was I gonna say? So he's talking.
He was saying like, "Oh, here's a champion. He ain't shit." And then she's talking about going to court with him.
Over what?
I don't know. She didn't say that.
Sounds like
maybe stalking, because she said supposedly I'm stalking him.
Maybe she thinks he's gang stalking her or something. I don't know, man. Well, let's see, man. Let's see what this clip's about, because I don't even know what's going on. Hold on a second.
Y'all champion and Omaha, Nebraska. The nigga talking about I'm stalking him. This and that, you bitch ass nigga. Tell fuckers you took me to 2 years, bitch. Tell him that. Okay. Tell him that. Tell him that. Tell him that. Tell him that. And I ain't worried about now, bitch. You know how I do.
Whoa, what the hell? What the hell is that?
Sounds like a dude.
Was that Clarissa Shields, by the way, or what was that
That's
about?
what it sounded like a male transitioning.
I don't know what he's. Like. Listen, Terence Crawford is a guy who people always talk about how mature he is, but he gets into trouble. Like he got into it with Jose Benavidez. Remember, he said, "I'm going to beat the burritos out of you." People say that he got shot in the head because of a dice game. Who knows what he was doing? I don't know if he was cheating or he was trash talking. I mean, like with the WBC, right? I don't know. Then he busts into a rim shop and takes his car away without paying. He's cheating on his wife. Now this woman is accusing him of some gang stalking him or something. I don't know what. All I'm going to say is he finds himself in certain spots, and he seems like the type of guy who's never his fault. Just like this whole thing about how.
Yeah, that's a good point about not being his fault. So remember, he complained about not being properly promoted, right? At some point, and then he accused Top Rank of being racist. Right, so I guess he was associating racism with what the improper promotion.
Well, it was part of the lawsuit
promotion.
It was Butcher. It was part of the lawsuit. The big thing was that they failed to deliver the promised fights, and then there was a little bit of an addition there about how ESPN or Topic or whatever refused to pay homage to St. George Floyd during the Summer of Love.
That was a racism.
That was
what's have to do with his career?
But remember, Shakur Stevenson, who's buddy with Terrence Crawford, as he calls him, Big Bro, yo, Big Bro. But Shakur Stevenson also said in that tweet that I sent you once, where he says, "Floyd told me years ago that Bob Arum and Top Rank don't fuck with black fighters." I'm thinking, what? So they're always very quick to play the race card when things don't go their way. And meanwhile, the media is all up their ass. But that's never enough. So there's a bit of a disconnect here with what he's saying. And going back to the whole Terrence Crawford thing where he says, they push the Afro-Anglo fighters to act like clowns. Who's they? The same media that props them up on a pedestal? Exactly. I don't get it.
So Crawford, do you feel he doesn't feel like his career reached the pinnacle? Or not that pinnacle. He could have gone higher in terms of popularity, and he didn't, and now he's trying to find some excuses. You think that's what's happening?
I didn't think about that.
Like even with the Canelo win, that didn't last much. That the fame, right? So he's like, "Fuck, how do I justify the way my career went?"
Well, listen to what he said on that stream. Sorry. Remember in the stream where he says, or they asked him, "Why did you retire?" He goes, "Well, because I've done it all, and no matter what I do, they ain't never gonna give me the credit." I'm thinking, what? You got all the credit. People gave you the credit. You were the underdog against Canelo, albeit 2-1, but still the underdog. And people said it's the Crawford era on Ring Magazine. They said all-time great. Like usually they don't do that. They really drove it home that what he did was so impressive and earth-shattering. What more credit did he want? I don't get it. It seems like he's one of those guys that it's never enough.
Well, that's it. And now he's looking at his career and it's like, oh well, I didn't talk trash enough, but I didn't want to do it because that's not me. And if I would have talked trash, things would have been different. But that's what they want. And it's like he starts to come up with some sort of fucking conspiracy.
The man, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. The man.
Yeah,
he keeps saying they. Just say it. Like stop. Why did
exactly,
I don't like how he says
I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means. I really don't know what he means.
Top Rank? Does he mean Bob Arum, the guy that was paying him millions of dollars?
He should just come out and say Hard J, right? He should just come out and say this to Hard J's. They don't I would respect him if he really went full Charlie Sheen. You guys remember when Charlie went full?
Right. He goes crazy.
Just come out and go, and you'll get a pass. Do you say that they, and you say the names, you say who they are?
He's probably a Hebrew Israelite himself, so.
Wouldn't be surprised, yeah. Or Nation of Islam guys. They always say like the CIA, once CIA, always CIA. Same thing with the Nation of Islam guys. They never leave that mentality, or never leaves them rather. But it is interesting, like you guys were saying, it's like he got paid a lot of money for fighting nondescript opposition during his tenure with Top Rank, and he's still crying about how he didn't get that. I mean, why is he crying about that? He got a pretty sweet deal. If there was really something against people of his race, he wouldn't be getting paid that much, and he wouldn't be put on the pedestal the way he is.
Oh no!
The media would be trying to downplay
some people are placing him in like the top 10 best fighters of all time.
Yeah, there's some people are even suggesting the Mount Rushmore, along with Henry Armstrong, Sugar Robinson, Duran, some of these other dudes from the 1920s. I mean, it's a little.
Look,
yes.
He's saying he doesn't get enough exposure or whatever. This is like his third appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, which is the biggest podcast in the world, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you've been on there 3 times. People, if it's not catching on, it's not catching on. It's on you. Some of it's on you, bro.
Exactly.
Some of it's on you, bro.
No, it's because I'm not talking trash. That's why,
It's obvious he has zero personality. I mean, he has the personality of a bun cake. I mean, just look at him. Just
True.
look at the eyes. There's, I mean, you guys talking about Daniel Dubois, but there's, I don't see any kind of emotion or any type of like thinking going on. I know that sounds terrible, but I mean, just look at the way he's talking.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's not the reason why he's not getting. His career didn't take off the way it should have. Not take off. He didn't reach the proportions that he should have, maybe in his opinion, based on his talent. The reason why his career went the way it did is because he made bad decisions. You know, he re-signed with Top Rank when he should have signed with the PBC probably. I mean, to fight these other guys. And then after that, from 2020 to 2025, he decides to fight once a year. He could have taken more risks. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten more fights at 154.
Well,
right? He could have gone into maybe some wars, but that's necessary. You know, when you challenge yourself, you end up in a war here and there. But that helps your career at some, because people will remember you for those tough fights. This guy decides to fight Madrimov, has a close fight. Then, instead of fighting another 154 pounder, he decides to just wait for the Canelo fight. So it's on him. He's trying to blame it on racism, and they wanted me to trash talk. I just I couldn't do it. It's not me. No, that's not why your career went the way it did. Is because you just made bad decisions.
I do think the whole re-signing with Top Rank, I mean, I wouldn't have signed with the PBC. Remember that he told them, hey, he wanted them to open up the books, and they refused to. That was a red flag right there. But that's the thing.
They moved to 154. Or
160.
Washed up Amir Khan, washed up Kell Brook.
Or
how is that going to help your career?
Or Bucho 168. Where Bomac said he should have been in a long, but I wanted to keep him in welterweight to take advantage of it. Those are his words.
Go to 160, get into some fucking wars or something. Maybe you won't even get into wars. He's so good, apparently. He won't, but still, he would have been fighting bigger guys, and just the optics alone would have helped sell a fight. This guy, Crawford's moving up in weight, fighting bigger guys, blah blah blah. It's better than him staying at 147 fighting Kell Brook, washed up Kell Brook, and washed up Amir Khan. How is that going to help you? Again, he made bad decisions. He's regretting it. He doesn't want to admit it that he was his career went the way it did because he made bad decisions. He wants to blame it on racism, and they expected me to behave a certain way, and I didn't want to do it. That's all bullshit.
Well, I'll say this, man. In regards to the fights with the PBC not happening, I do believe that that's the PBC side. That's the PBC's fault. But why then blame Bob Arum for that? The fights weren't going to happen either way because those people didn't want. They wanted you on their side. Otherwise, they weren't going to give you the shot at those dudes. So it had nothing to do. He could have been with Eddie Hearn. Could have been with Frank Warren. Could have been with De La Hoya. Could have been with Don King. If
he could have moved up to 154. Okay, I get. Okay, let's say it was the PBC's fault. Okay, they move up to 154. Do something.
Right.
But he he was getting paid a lot of money by Top Rank. So
and that's the other thing
I'm gonna get paid a lot of money, and I get to fight Kell Brook and Amir Khan. Why not?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of things going on. Remember when he wanted to fight Pacquiao at a catchweight at 140? This was 2018, 2019, I think. I have the article here somewhere, and it's like, what? Who are you to be dictating? I mean, the Crawford back then at 140 was nowhere near the Crawford that he is now. He's a god in a lot of people's eyes. Back then, Pacquiao was still the bigger name, and yet this guy's dictating to him, "Oh, you got to come back to 140." If you really wanted the fight, see, with Canelo, he was willing to go up to 168. But with Pacquiao, all of a sudden, that was a big debate a couple of weeks ago, because Bob Arum had said, remember that years ago, that I didn't want to put him in there against Pacquiao because I like Pacquiao. But then before that, you were saying that your matchmakers told you it wasn't Crawford couldn't handle him. So I mean, I don't know. It's a big thing. And then again, they offered him the fight, or they were talking about the fight, and he said he wanted to 140. Whereas Pacquiao had already been campaigning at 147 for years.
I understand there's politics. We can get into this all day, but you're telling me he couldn't get a single big fight? Like there was nothing they could do for this guy? He couldn't do anything? He was a prisoner, basically? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the PBC.
No, I doubt it. You keep mentioning the PBC. Okay, tell Bob I'm moving up to 154. Get me some fights over there. Well, the PBC didn't control everything over there.
Well, wasn't that?
What about? Was he an attraction? They call it the Crawford era, but nobody wants to fight him. So what? He didn't generate any money apparently, or what?
That's a good point. Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, yeah, he's a star. He's this and that. But then nobody wants to fight him. So why not? He's gonna give his opponents a big paycheck, supposedly, right?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Why wouldn't you take a fight like the people fight? A lot of fighters fought Canelo knowing they were gonna fucking lose, but they loved it. They loved the opportunity because they were gonna get a paycheck, big paycheck. When it comes to Crawford, nobody wants to fight him. I mean, geez.
But I mean, going
man.
back to this whole thing of him saying that they expect them, like who's they? That's what I don't understand. And so Tank Davis acts the way he does.
Them folks.
Yeah,
Them folks.
Tank Davis acts the way he acts because of societal pressure, apparently. What about his own little bro, Shakur Stevenson? Almost every time he fights, he promises to put belt to ass and then under delivers. But meanwhile, he's barking up and down, I'm gonna whoop your ass, getting into people's faces. Same thing with Keyshawn Davis. Who's telling them that they gotta act like clowns? That's what they know he doesn't go into that.
Yo, here's the story, my man. We got to get a message out about brothers working for these white devils and not getting paid what they deserve.
That's Ernest Crawford right there. No, but who told Keyshawn?
Yeah, and I think Top Rank could have done a better. I think Crawford could have pushed for Top Rank to do something when it comes to his career. But I think he liked the way he was going with Top Rank, and so he didn't complain at the time.
Well, again,
it was Top Rank's fault. I'm not saying it was Top Rank. I think it was Crawford's fault.
Well, listen, we got to dig into that. But I don't really care to dig into that right now, man. We got more important things to do. But just that was a weird comment. And interestingly enough, the comments on that tweet that I played, because I played, somebody tweeted that clip, and so I went on the comment section. A lot of people are calling Crawford out for what he said. I was expecting more support because, like I said, after he beat Canelo. But now people are already I think a lot of people just wanted him to beat Canelo because, there's a lot of people who hate Canelo. I shouldn't say hate, but, dislike him or they want to root against him, especially since Crawford was the slight underdog. But I think now that's sort of passé now, a couple of months later, and people are already maybe losing... Again, the news cycle moves fast. That's why Crawford, he's going on his victory tour like he did against Spence. Remember, for a whole year, he was on a victory tour, going to every event that he could, every podcast that would have. I think he would even be on this podcast, even though he probably knows because of certain people telling him shit. But, it's like he wants to stay on the limelight. Would you guys be surprised if he comes back?
If you what?
If what?
To cut off.
If he returns to the ring.
No, it's a given. I mean, look, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are coming back. It's gonna happen, man. I'm willing to bet it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it will. Not only because of the money. I think he's hungry for fame. He wants fame. And he knows, if he thinks too much about it, like if he starts to take time to make a decision whether he comes back or not, it's gonna be too late, and he knows this.
You seen that? Sorry, Bucha, cut you off, but I just had to say, you seen that jealous look that he had of Ryan. I mean, if you look at the way he was looking at Ryan, even in the hallway, it was like this seething jealousy. It's hard to describe. You could tell when someone has jealous eyes. I think there's a song about it, jealous eyes. But
because
you looking ass. Is that the line?
It's actually a song? I think it's jealous eyes or something like that.
But what's he got to be jealous about?
Go ahead. It doesn't matter. You could be jealous of.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, he's jealous of Ryan Garcia because he knows. Listen, he's Mexican American. He already has a huge fan base when it comes to social media and all of that. Yeah, sure. He looked like shit against Rolly Romero, but he looked great against Barrios, and especially he knocked him down. Crowd screaming and yelling. He wins a belt. He's back. And now he's not at the top level in terms of skills, but at the top of in terms of an attraction in boxing. And Crawford, in the meantime, what's happening with his career? Well, he's retired now. All he does is show up to events here and there. He beat Canelo. I don't even know when that fight was. When was September? Those 15 minutes of fame, the honeymoon is over, man. It's dying. As time passes by, the more people are going to start forgetting that fight. Because on top of that, the fight wasn't even that exciting. It wasn't even exciting at all, right? So it's not even memorable. Of course, you remember the outcome because it was a big fight. You remember Crawford won, but that's pretty much where it ends.
You know what?
So this guy's jealous that these other boxers young boxers are getting all this fame and knockouts and all of this.
Well, first of all, what he expect? Like I said, that always happens with these boxers. Once they could even Mayweather. People forgot about him because the news cycle moves fast and somebody else takes his place. And maybe not in the same magnitude, but people forget. People don't spend all day. Although some people do on Twitter apparently, but people forget about these guys. Now, I mentioned what does he have to be jealous of Ryan Garcia about? Why is he jealous of Ryan Garcia? Why would he be jealous of Ryan Garcia? Well, I keep forgetting that he himself let it slip in that interview when he said, no matter what I do, they're never going to give me credit. So that's already something that's ingrained in his head. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And like I said on another podcast, that's probably usually that can drive you to greatness in a sport. But then after you're done with that sport and you still have that chip on your shoulder, that's when things can get dicey. Because then you start self-imploding or so that's, maybe you're right. Maybe we look at it like, whoa, this guy's way more accomplished than Ryan Garcia. Why's he got to be jealous about? But that's not the way he sees it, probably. Like you said, Bucho, he's got
yeah. And by the way,
saying, like you say.
Yep. He's saying that we're expected to talk trash. I mean, I think all boxers are expected to talk trash.
A little bit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all expected to, and this, this is unfortunate, but to have a tough past life. They grew up growing up in shitty environments, doing time, this and that. This is what is expected, unfortunately, from boxers. So this is not a black or white or brown thing. This is just what people expect from certain boxers. And right, Ryan Garcia's talking trash too, right? He got a lot of criticisms for things that he has said in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Ryan Garcia complaining about, they want me to talk trash. I don't want to talk trash. They're telling me to talk trash, so I'm doing it. No, this is how these people are.
Well, there is some
these people are fucking crazy, man.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. Ryan Garcia does a bunch of other crazy shit. He might not complain about they want me to talk trash, but he's done a whole lot of insane things. So there's a correlation here between the people who do a lot of trash talking and the fact that they're not all there mentally. Or that they got a chip on their shoulder,
exactly.
Or you know what I mean. So it's not a racial expectation.
Or the profession, apparently. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and Mr. BDA, I think Ryan does it tongue in cheek, like it's half mocking, half serious. And with Crawford, it's like he's serious all the time. I don't think the guy has a funny bone.
Well, I mean, that's a good point.
He's getting all political now, right? He's getting all political. He's turning into Malcolm X now, apparently. Like, come on.
Well, he was doing his share of trash talking and acting like a clown when Canelo. Remember when in the first press conference they said, people in the internet were saying that he looked scared. So, and then he starts pushing Canelo in the second one. He says, and then in the third one, he says, well, because I heard that people were saying I was scared and I was going to show him I ain't scared of anybody. So he was acting like a clown. Who told him to act like a clown?
Who told him to act like that? And people expect us to behave like that. And then he goes around and pushes Canelo. Like,
exactly.
I forgot about that.
I mean, he can blame the people on the internet, but people on the internet say whatever they want about us, and we don't let it dictate how we act. So you're a grown man. Stop blaming the man for your problems or the way you look at the world.
Yeah, the man told him to go and push Canelo.
Well, also, and I think okay, I'm gonna be real for a second. No, he does have a point. I mean, we've heard it before, right? But see, what he's doing is just cliche. He's saying it like a cliche, and Joe Rogan is supposed to just be, put in his place, right? Like, I just checked this white dude. But when you say something, I'm being serious, right? Like,
he makes, He's like, oh, you can't say anything back. Oh man, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So, but here's the thing: when you say something loaded like that, like, you need to be articulate. You can't just be like, yeah, man. Yeah, you need to articulate that loaded statement and give some facts and some history. Like, they want to see us shook and jive. Don't just say, yeah, they don't want to see us thrive, but then leave it as a cliche. Like, drop the
because
mic.
he hasn't even thought about the whole thing. He hasn't thought it through. He just says whatever comes to his fucking head and mind, and he just throws it out there. And when somebody challenges him on that issue, he doesn't know what to say because he never even. Exactly. He just throws it out there. Like you said, Frank, and he thinks that, the other person's going to just be like, oh, shit, he's right. Oh, I don't have anything to say. I'm not going to challenge that statement. That's so true,
Ebony splendor from the birth of Adam to the pyramids of knowledge.
I mean, I don't know what's going on, man. But he needs to calm down. He's got a whole bunch of money. He's not married anymore, so he can pretty much go out there and do his thing, the bachelor life. That's the great thing about being a boxer, though, especially if you were a disciplined one like Crawford was. He's relatively young. I mean, he's going to be 40, but I mean, that's young. Obviously, not for a boxer, but so he's got young, he's loaded with money. Go out there and do your thing. What's he going to be complaining about the man skipping
He's
me
not
down?
getting into trouble as other boxers.
So far, yeah.
So far, I mean, well.
Hey, by the way, the phone lines are open, people. The phone line, I just opened them up. We just opened them up, so make sure to call in, give us your thoughts on anything and everything that we've been talking about here in regards to the boxing world. And
tell us if you agree or disagree with Terence Crawford.
Sure.
About what he said.
That can be the subject there.
There's something to it. I would say that there is something to it, but you need to be able to articulate it better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't just go through. You can't just throw. It's like when people accuse each other of racism. Oh, this guy's racist. Okay, well, how? Why? Like, well, just trust me, bro. It's like, okay, well, why should we trust you? Who are you? Makes no sense.
It's expected for boxers in general to try and sell a fight during the press conference, right? In a certain way. That's how it is.
From my perspective,
I mean, Ali did it, right? Didn't Ali did it? Muhammad Ali did it.
Well, that's the thing, though, Bucho, and he crossed the
Yeah.
line into distastefulness, or being distasteful, and that's the thing. Some people in the comment section of that tweet were saying, like, you got to blame Ali for this, because ever since Ali, a lot of Afro-Anglo fighters have tried to be Ali. And but I don't really see that. I mean, Larry Holmes was a caustic character, but he wasn't exactly a trash talker per se, in the sense that I'm going to whoop. He wouldn't come out of nowhere. But he was
real anger when he said it.
Exactly, it was real anger when he had a contentious relationship with the media and certain promoters and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Leonard wasn't a trash talker. In fact, it was Duran who trash talked the shit out of him. He crossed the line when he, talking about his wife and whatever. But then, Mayweather, Shakur Stevenson's a big clown when he does his press conferences. Tank Davis too. Devin Haney not so much, but his father and his entourage getting into fights, attacking people, attacking carnies 5-on-1 at the carnival. I mean, it's not a good look. And again, to blame society for that when it's they
why
made
do people? Why don't they expect that from Mexican boxers?
And do these people? I mean, does Devin Haney not have agency? He can't dictate how he wants to act. Same thing with Shakur Stevenson. I mean, come on, let's not baby and call these people.
And it kind of works both ways too, depending on the boxer, whatever persona you choose to adapt. Because on the opposite spectrum is De La Hoya, Leonard. Can you think of anybody else who was accused of being a phony? The cookie cutter cliche athlete. I trained 100% this time. Oh yeah, I love the fans, even though they probably would spit on you.
Well, De La Hoya was like that a little bit. Yeah, he tried to play the nice guy. I was talking about that with Chief. He had the smile and he would calculate his answers, but he wasn't really that nice a guy. And you're seeing now the real De La Hoya, now that he's letting loose and everything, is with the clapback Thursdays and all that. But let's go to the phone lines here. Let's see what people have to say, and then we'll come back to the panel. Don't forget, people, the phone lines are open. Make sure to call in. Let's go to 410. 410, you're on the air. 410, what's on your mind?
What's up there, buddy? It's Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, what's up, man? What's on your mind?
I'm getting in here late. What did Crawford say?
Well, he said that Afro-Anglos are expected, and he didn't really specify by whom, but he says they're expected to act like clowns in the build-up to fights.
Anytime it gets on the topic about blacks, like so many black YouTube content creators, they want to make boxing about race. They just insist on doing it. And it's only gotten worse because now, as opposed to the last, say, 4 or 5 decades, boxing was dominated by black fighters. Now it's a lot different. There's always been Latins in boxing here in the U.S., but now there's a whole lot. Not just a couple, a Chavez and a Monza. Not just a couple, there's a lot. Also now, there's a lot of Eastern European fighters. A whole lot of them. White boys, as what we call them. Here in the United States, white athletes don't participate in boxing. They haven't since the early 70s. They just don't. There's too many other sports where you have a better chance of becoming successful, even though the chance is small. Boxing, it's a poor man's sport. That's why you see all these Eastern European fighters. They come from ghettos. They come, Golovkin said he'd done as much street fighting as he had done organized boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his brother. All them guys, they come from ghettos over there, hardcore ghettos, and they're hardened men, and they'll beat your fucking ass. Black, white, don't matter. A lot of times they're nobody to play with. We've seen that. I could name the names, but you know who they are. Bud Crawford, I've always been torn with Bud Crawford. I can't deny the fighter that he is. I could pick his resume apart. There's work that could be done there, and people are critical of his resume. But he, as a fighter, you can tell he's a great fighter. However, I ain't been right with him since he put that lawsuit on Bob Arum. To me, that was some low-down shit, man, claiming that Bob Arum was a racist. Bob Arum he signed 3 times with Bob Arum. He fought for him for like 11 years. He fought under the Top Rank banner. And when doing so, he was the highest paid welterweight guaranteed money in the division, even though he hadn't fought anyone in the division at the top. He was still the highest paid guy with guaranteed money, of course. And 3 times he signed with Arum to renew. And then after 10, 11 years, now you're going to say that he's racist? That he intentionally sabotaged? Think about what kind of sense it makes. I'm a fight promoter. I'm going to sign a fighter, invest in him, because there's no way that Crawford was making money in the early going. Later on, maybe Bob claims no, and I can believe him, but in the early one, Bob had to invest in him. And you're telling me this man signed you. I've looked high and low. I can't find anywhere where the PBC even offered Crawford a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he signs you and invests in you and promotes you. Also, he can sabotage you. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. That was some backhanded shit, if you ask me. And then it wasn't long after that, you see him playing grab ass with Shakur Stevenson in the Top Rank gym. Did we not?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Couple times. What are you doing in my gym if I'm some hurtful racist that owes you millions of dollars? Shakur Stevenson's his little buddy, his little bro, and what's he do? He signed with Top Rank, did he not? Of course he did. No, what he's saying there about that, that's what I tell people is when they insist race, I'm like, look, black fighters have been the most celebrated and the highest paid fighters in boxing history, and that's all she wrote. It's not even close. You feel me? It's not even close. So stop crying that you getting treated unfairly or portrayed in a certain way. You take that Clarissa Shields fight the other night.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't no white people that made that happen, that brawl. It's called personal responsibility. Now, the brawls and the shit talking doesn't bother me because I've seen it in boxing throughout with camps of all different ethnicities. It's the fight game. Emotions run high, and then it culminates with 2 fighters that have been trading to kill each other, having to stand there face to face, right in each other's faces, right? And they're starving and they're dehydrated and shit breaks off sometimes. Hell, I like it. I mean, I don't want to see anybody get, stomped out, but it's went on forever, you know what I mean? It just has. And so none of that really bothers me. But it is bothersome for him to say that that's what is expected, or try to shift the blame from the people who actually did it to people that have nothing to do with it.
Right. And it's like Frank said on the panel, he said, well, I mean, maybe he's right. Maybe Crawford is correct, but could you give us some evidence or articulate it better than just this vague statement of they expect us? Like, who's they? And, what's the context?
Well, that's a term. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's a term. It's right there with y'all. Y'all apparently means everybody.
Right.
Right? It's the most overused little 4-letter word. I mean, who the fuck is y'all? What are you, just speaking for everybody? Yeah, the more Bud talks, a lot of times, the more, and is he going to come back? I would suggest, because even though he doesn't get the type of fame or attention, let's say, a Canelo would, right? He still gets plenty. He's still a pretty big deal. I mean, in boxing, press and things like that. So we don't get to see it or feel it, but he's still a pretty big deal there. And I have to say, he's never really struck me as the type that would really need that, because he really hasn't had it.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare, all the all the titles and the accomplishments and stuff, when you compare that to his level of popularity, it's never been there, you know. And I heard him say, you know, he never thinks it never will be, and part of it's his fault because he didn't promote himself, and he's quite boring oftentimes. But what can you do? A lot of these fighters are boring. Shakur Stevenson, his commentating is as boring as his fighting style. if you caught him commentating the other night.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, I did see some of that. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I mean, it's not like, you know, not everybody can be Mr. Personality, A-grade personality or whatever. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, this is you're gonna see Crawford talk more and more, and you're gonna start seeing why you should just pay attention to these guys as boxers and not as social commentators, because you know the boxers like to say that too, like, oh, stay in your lane. You ain't never boxed before. You ain't ever been in my show. Okay, well then maybe you should stay in your lane too and just stick to boxing and not to be trying to be these social commentators and these civil rights activists or whatever.
Don't. If you're telling me I'm not a boxer, I'm going to tell you, well, you're not a fan. Because if you was a fan, you would have put something on that the fans wanted to look at. All right, you're a professional boxer. I'm a professional fan. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on boxing pay-per-views, live events. Hell, I go back to print ring subscriptions, HBO. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars. So you're not going to tell me what's entertaining. And that ain't going to happen. I don't have to be a boxer. I'm a professional fan. Now, I do think he's going to come back. I think he was foolish in a sense, and I don't know. You know, when you're not in the room, you don't know the details. But I know he went over there to Saudi that week that he retired. Earlier in that week, he went over there. And I doubt he traveled all the way over there for Arab carry-out. He went over there to talk business, right, with Turkey. And I think what he got told was, look, you know, I've probably got some work for you, but you got to fight Billy or Shiraz, you know, and it ain't going to pay you $50 million, right? That's not a $50 million fight. Now, him and his trainer saying they want $100 million. I mean, that's great. Maybe if you fought Canelo in a rematch, maybe. But other than that, you're going to have to fight some of these killers, and it ain't going to be $50 million. And what happened? He came home from Saudi Arabia and retired.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, that's weird, man. That's weird. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a guy says he's retiring and then he comes back, but we'll see what happens. But Jerry, man, excellent call as always. And call back next time, all right, man?
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. Take it easy out there. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he didn't go out there for Saudi Arabia for some takeout. And it's true. It's look, listen, he's a hell of a fighter, to paraphrase Floyd Mayweather, but some of the stuff he says just doesn't really match up with reality. Now, I gotta go to the latrines. We've already been on for 2 hours, but we still got a lot to get to here because tomorrow there is some pro box. So we don't, even though they're not exactly the biggest fights, I don't like doing shows during the pro box or just an hour preceding pro box. So we're gonna cover everything we need to cover today, and then we'll return on Sunday to cover the Navarrete Nunez fight. I wanted to say that, okay, so Richardson Hitchens dropped out of the Duarte fight, and I don't know if he was really sick or not. Some people say, no, he was faking it. I don't know. How can you know for sure, right? But now they're saying that the IBF is pressing for the Lindolfo Delgado fight, which is even though Delgado is a little bit craftier than Duarte, he's looked bad in some of his last outings. And it would appear that Duarte was a more difficult fight. So now it looks as if Hitchens is not going to be fighting Duarte unless he drops the belt and decides to fight Duarte with nothing really of significance at stake, even though for me the belts are nothing of significance, but you know what I mean. So now people are starting to jump, other professional fighters are starting to jump on the bandwagon here and casting aspersions on Hitchens. Here's Timothy Bradley commenting on it.
You be talking all this trash, talking about this, talking about that. Can't nobody beat you. Oh, Haney. Oh, Keyshawn Davis and all this shit, man. And you had a monster in front of you, bro, and you straight up bagged out of the damn fight. You a straight up buster, bro. Straight up buster. In the hood, when you're a buster, you already know he's a pretender. That's what a buster is in the hood. Yeah. What they call it, a blusterer. That's what the dictionary.
Oh, now he knows about the hood or what the fuck?
That's right. Yeah, apparently, man.
Wasn't he an army brat?
I think so. Right? Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, you can still be. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know much about his childhood.
Dudes that boast.
That's why he got the name Desert Storm.
Right. Yeah.
Shit and trash and all this shit, and then bag out. Yeah, soft as hell.
Is he driving a golf cart? Where is he?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's
on
what it
his
looks like.
private property. You know what I'm saying? On his 100-acre wood.
You're talking about the hood, and meanwhile he said
Talking about the hood and shit, on his little private golf course and shit, running around his little golf cart
all his
with his
neighbor,
white
all his
friends,
neighbor, I was
with
gonna say,
Bob Arum and shit.
all his neighbors are white. You know.
Exactly.
The only black people, and then it's only half. It's only like a black person and a half, right? Because it's Andre Ward. So
Yeah, he sees a black person, calls the police. You know.
they're just like, oh, yeah, they see him. They're like, what is he doing here? Ugh.
It looks like he's one of the bad ones.
For real. Yo.
Okay, so this was from Dan the Boxing Man on Twitter, but then there's another. So that's Tim Bradley casting aspersions on Prograis, and then there's this another one. This is who is this? Oh, this is Prograis, and this is from Dallas. Posted this on Twitter.
Boxing world, I heard he's scary. I'm not. That's just what I heard. So I don't know him. I don't know Richardson personally.
Prograis looks like an LDBC guy making videos in his car.
I did hear that Richardson is a scary fighter. He a bitch ass nigga. Just feel like I gotta say it, bro. He a bitch ass. You can't pull out the fight the same day. You can't do that.
Yeah, man. Richardson Hitchens.
All right, so we already saw that one. So
in the chat, some random says he's at Mar-a-Lago.
maybe he's digging for the corpses there. Try to maybe pin it on, get some justice for the so-called alleged victims. Oh, De La Hoya also had something. Well, De La Hoya, we know what he's going to say because he promotes Duarte. But I'll be right back. I'm going to go to a latrine break. But what do you guys make of this? Of these professional fighters casting aspersions and doubting Richardson Hitchens?
I think he was scared. I mean, scared. Maybe that's a big word, but I think he knew Hitchens knew he was going to be a tough fight against Duarte, and why take a risk? I think he's thinking of moving up in weight. Maybe he knew that if he didn't fight Duarte, he would fight that mandatory against Lindolfo. So he's probably going to take that fight because that fight's, I think there's less of a danger. The styles mesh up better for him. And eventually he's going to move up in weight. That's my opinion. I think he didn't want to take a risk against Duarte. What do you guys think?
He a bitch ass Nick. Nah, man. I think Prograis right on it. He a bitch ass.
A lot of us think everybody's thinking that. Like it's not like just a few. Like the majority of people that I've seen on the internet, they're calling Hitchens a pussy, basically.
But that's what Duarte said, right? You pussy.
Oh yeah. Where is it?
Guys, how you haven't played that one? You guys are slipping.
I got it.
Y'all slipping
somewhere.
But no, I mean, look. Could he have?
Shut the fuck up, pussy. Shut the fuck up, pussy.
You trying to clown me, Bucho? What's up with that?
Oh no, I would never do that. But yeah, it's just
go ahead.
A bad look. It's just a bad look. Like maybe he was really sick. I mean, we don't know, right? But it's just.
Well, that's okay. So let's say, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Like you still should have fought, and I think that's what people are saying. Like, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but you still should have fought. I think there's a clip. Mikey Garcia called him a bitch too. Mikey Garcia and his dad, Papa Garcia said, yeah, he's a bitch. Like they all said, hey, we fought sick, we fought injured. That's what you do.
Oh yeah, I saw that with Eli Sackback. Yeah, there was an interview. It's true. I mean, yeah, it's not like he was in the hospital. I mean, I don't think he was in the hospital. And it's not. It wasn't the weight. If it would have been the weight, then he should have said it. People would have, I guess, understood, right? That okay, a lot of fighters sometimes struggle to make weight. But no, he just came up with what was the exact excuse? What was it? Just he had the flu or something?
Food poisoning.
Oh, food poisoning. That's even worse.
Supposedly.
Hitchens not fighting Duarte.
Food poisoning, really? Come on, bro.
That's terrible.
That's not very halal of you, brother.
Wait, is that's the official thing they said about Hitchens, that he was food poisoning?
I want to say that's what he said. Yes.
We got to fact check that. We need the BDF fact checkers out there to fact check that for us. Yeah.
Let me check.
Could be Frank spreading his fake news again. That's what he does.
I tend to do that. Yeah.
No, but you know what? When he pulled out, I said, no, I give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, it's February. I think he trains out of New York, and New York is like Montreal. It's pretty cold, and there's bugs going around all over the place. If indeed he was training in New York, but now it's strange seeing other professional fighters calling him out on that. What do they know something we don't? I mean, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
He was vomiting. That's all I'm seeing.
Well, no, that is normal. That basically is normal for you to feel sick, right? I mean, if you did cut as much weight as you did,
he's scared.
Fighters, they get sick before a fight. Nerves, or that's what De La Hoya said. Nerves, or you were throwing up, but it's just, it's normal.
Well, I mean, the when people started saying, "Oh, he dropped out of the fight on purpose," or I mean, he didn't, he was scared. The first thing that came to my mind was, well, the weight. I'm going to show people a picture here. This is in the build up to the Kambosos fight, which was last year, and he was at 140 pounds, and he looked horrible. Hold on, where is it? Okay, here it is. He looked bad. Look at this. That's really him. It's not AI. At least I don't think. Maybe somebody can fact check that. But somebody had posted that on Twitter and on the Discord, I believe. And I believe that that's how he looks. I mean, the guy's he's 5'11", by the way. He's as tall as Ryan Garcia, fighting at 140. Even Ryan Garcia doesn't fight at 140, even though he's saying he can.
He's a little bit taller than Ryan Garcia.
Is that right? Holy smokes! So maybe he had trouble making weight and he felt weak and said, "You know what? I don't think I'm gonna be in shape for tonight." Because actually, he dropped out the day of the fight, right? It wasn't even the day before. So he made weight, and then the next day,
hours before the fight.
Right. I think that's maybe he felt like, fuck, my legs aren't there, and I'm gonna be fighting a guy whom I need my legs against.
The style. Or he's fighting a guy, the Lemos type of fighter.
There's being sick, and then there's I think Virgil Ortiz.
It happens to a lot of fighters. You know what it's called? It's called the heebie-jeebies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got butterflies in his stomach, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think I can. Maybe I can."
Yeah, because there's being sick, and then when Virgil Ortiz, remember when he had passed out, he literally passed out. Like if that guy was walking away at off stage and then he just passed out, okay, I guess you really were sick and you had something, but he hasn't been able to show that.
That's true. That's true. Now, in my day, by the way, we didn't call it the heebie-jeebies. I mean, we did call it, but it was basically the shakes. And that was after the previous generation, the shakes, man, do the shake, start partying. Then there's the wheelies, but the wheelies is more like when you see something disgusting, like worms or something, you get the wheelies. So there's that distinction. I just wanted to clarify for people, but yeah, maybe Richardson Hitchens got a whole bunch of those same things at the same time. Maybe he saw Duarte, said, man, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs. In fact, Shushu Carrington, who fought on that card, said that he couldn't feel his back leg. He said he got clipped with a shot over the top of the head. He couldn't feel his back leg for a couple of rounds, but he didn't let his opponent know. So sometimes we don't know how these guys feel, man, going into a fight or during a fight. Sometimes we look at them.
There's famous stories of Mike Tyson crying before a fight. He was so scared. I think he says it. He was so scared he didn't want to go out, and they had to, convince him.
Crazy.
Whoa. Well, Joe
you don't
Rogan,
remember him telling those stories?
He's fighting Lemos, man. So that's the thing. He knew it was gonna be a tough fight. He I'm not 100%, so I'd rather not fight him. And he's one of those fighters that he believes in the zero, the O in his record is extremely important. He's one of those guys. He loses that. He believes he's gonna lose a lot of appeal with the fans. But that's not how it works. He's an idiot. He's one of these idiots. People will respect you depending on how you behave inside the ring. That's what fucking matters.
Well, I was gonna say, Bucho, he knows he's not an exciting fighter, so
he knows
he has to have that O.
Maybe you guys are missing something though. Maybe he felt pressure by the man to drop out of the fight.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, you guys are, making...
I literally heard someone say that. Someone made that excuse.
No,
I'm serious.
That can be...
I heard it.
Nah, please don't tell me. But what, by the way, what is Gypsy Boxing going on about it? He said, I always knew his chance was a phony.
Yeah, it's like everybody... it's some sort of revelation. He's saying Hitchens is a phony, like I said. Like a lot of people have said this. Now, I'm not calling him a phony. Well, now, I never called him a phony before. I just questioned some of his wins. Like, that Kambosos fight made him look like Mike Tyson. Okay. Good win. He stopped the guy. But he's had other performances that were very boring. So,
the
just
Lemos
because he
fight,
knocked out stopped Kambosos doesn't mean he's a changed fighter or anything.
Right. The Lemos fight, the way he fought, man, with the clinching, I mean, that's not a good fight. In fact, Chief and I were yesterday we were doing the historical show, and I was talking about Randy Shields. They asked him, hey, how do you think Mayweather would have done in your era? Because the guy fought Hearns, he fought Pipino Cuevas, Sugar Ray Leonard, Wilfred Benitez. So they asked him, Ellie Sagba asked him, how would Mayweather do? He goes, I don't really like Mayweather. He holds too much. So you see, the old school guys, they know about old school. I mean, relatively old school. They know about that. Yeah, the clinching. But for some reason, this generation thinks that clinching is okay. It's part of boxing.
They don't think it's okay. They don't think they're lying. They're lying. They're just because they want to protect their favorite fighters. And this all started with Floyd Mayweather, right? So now, like, these people lie. Like, for example, they say, oh, Shakur Stevenson, oh, he's a great boxer. You know, he's this and that. Oh, clinching is part of the game. You know, it's all lies. Like, they know it's not part of the game. They know it's illegal to clinch. And they know these boxes are boring. They just don't want to admit it. And they don't buy the pay-per-views, man. I'm telling you.
True. Yeah.
These people, and they're telling people what's exciting and what's not exciting. Come on, that's not up to you.
I gotta make the distinction though. Shakur Stevenson is not really a clincher. He's more of a non-engager. He throws very little. He throws just enough to get the decision. He doesn't push for the stoppage. The last time he tried to do it against Hortononia, he ended up getting clipped. So I think he knows his limitations, and maybe that's why he doesn't.
Yeah, no, Shakur, he knows.
Maybe that's why he
doesn't clinch that much.
And maybe he shouldn't press.
No, but he's. When I say again, and I've said it multiple times, boring to me, a boring boxer is not necessarily a boxer that just clinches or runs away. It's also a boxer that doesn't throw punches, that doesn't wants to inflict damage on his opponent. Those fighters are boring.
Well, I say taking risk. I mean, you played that clip. He doesn't want to take a risk. You know, you have to risk one. What does it take to get one? You know, if you are trying to knock somebody out, it's risky. That's the most riskiest thing in boxing is if that's what I always say, right? Oh, I'm not going in looking for the knockout, because if you say I'm gonna go knock this guy out, then people are gonna criticize you too. Oh, he just wants to look. He's just looking for a knockout.
Well,
but it is the riskiest thing.
I was talking to Chief about the infamous or famous rather Sugar Ray Leonard moment against Tommy Hearns, where he's down on the cards, his eye is swollen. I forget which eye. Because I think it was the one where he was getting jabbed at for all night, and he's down on the cars. He's got his eyes swollen. He's fighting one of the hardest punchers, if not the hardest puncher in the division, and he went for it. He went for the finish, even though anyone else could have said, "Well, I'm not gonna fucking press a punch. Look at what he's already done to my face." Meanwhile, he said, and afterwards he said, "Oh, he didn't really hit hard." But I mean, there's a reason why you weren't taking it to him from the get go, but he went for it. He went for the finish. Some of these other dudes, like the clip that Frank showed us before last episode, where Shakur Stevenson saying, "You got the fight in the bag and you're gonna go for it in the 12 and then get your ass knocked out." That's insanity. It's like, no, that's the difference between you and the fan favorite. And you can have the best of both worlds. You can be a technical fighter.
Morales Pacquiao won.
Right. You can be a good technical fighter, but still entertain the fans. But he said it before. He said he doesn't care about the fans. And then he starts concocting conspiracy theories about, well, they paid those people to leave during my fight so that the ESPN cameras, he goes into conspiracy theory mode. Like Crawford, they start blaming other people and non-existent conspiracy or non-existent conspiracies in order to...
They don't blame themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, people got to take responsibility. One guy who's taking responsibility to a certain extent, people are surprised by this, is Tyson Fury was on the, the Versace. He was at the Versace temple. And Mr. Versace, who's trying to instigate a lot nowadays, try to get him to talk about Anthony Joshua. Check this out. By the way, I don't know what the N on Netflix stands for, but I think hopefully Tyson Fury wasn't the guy who was at the BAFTA Awards the other day. That's all I'll say about that.
DJ on here
He has Tourette's.
Back, and he had said that he definitely wants to face you this year. He's back in the gym. Eddie Hearn says he is coming back. And I know he said something that irked you a bit, where something along the lines of, he doesn't consider you a real fighter. And I know you snapped out and said, how do you not consider me a real fighter? You're fighting Jake Paul.
I'm not going to say too much about Anthony Joshua, because at this time in his life, he has a lot going on with the tragedies and the deceased friends that he's had. So that's why I won't go into it with him. But it was the other people. I can go in on them, but I'm not going in on AJ at these bad times. Rule number one for me is I never kick a man when he's at his lowest point. I leave him alone.
I like how he's acting all...
I build them up and then kick them down when they're at them highest.
Pious?
It's like people said to me, what do you think about the shit that Wilder keeps saying? I pray for Wilder, and I've got no hard feelings against him.
I mean, this is a guy who elbowed Francis Ngannou in the face. Again, people gonna say, well, if you think he's liar or whatever, why don't you believe the whole thing about the gloves? Because there's no evidence for it. But we don't have evidence of Tyson Fury being a bit of a bellend, as they like to say in the UK. But I mean, he did take the high road in this sequence here. But then somebody posted a clip of him saying how it was weird. He was talking about how, Usyk beat me allegedly, he says, but I can call up, my father anytime I want to, and everything he has won. I think he's one of the most to talk to his father. He can't, so that put things into perspective for me. It sounded kind of weird. He was trying to put things into perspective as if to say the things that really matter in life isn't the fact that I got robbed.
Yeah,
it's
like
but it's almost it seems like a dig. Like, hey, your father. I don't know. Maybe that's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm a little fucked up, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he was?
I think he just came out the wrong way.
Yeah, maybe, man, maybe.
But wait, did Joshua really say that he doesn't consider Fury a real fighter?
I don't know about that. I don't know the exact
sense. Like, why would he say that?
It does make a little bit of sense because the way I would interpret, and again, this is just me being based on what Mr. Versace said, and has Mr. Versace ever lied to us? But anyway, it seems like as if Joshua maybe was saying like, look, these guys have retired. He's not a real fighter anymore. He's not a full-time fighter.
Oh, okay. Well, that also sounds kind of weird. Like, he's not a real fighter. Like,
maybe it's like De La Hoya during the when he fought Mayweather, he was a part-time fighter. Same thing when he fought Pacquiao and all that. He's like he wasn't the same golden boy. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna start opening up the emails again because people write to us, and I try to answer back and everything, but sometimes there's just so many things you got to do. You can't just, and I hate typing. I'd rather talk to people, have them call in to the show. But I'm going to open up the communiques again. We're going to get to that. But one thing I did try, apparently Google has this thing there where you can actually have people send you messages, and it will actually filter them so you don't get porn. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be playing some of these video messages that people give us or send to us, saying, hi, how you doing, BD? I love the show, and then maybe ask questions. And we don't even have to filter them because Google does it for us. So this is, let's just play one. This is one clip. Somebody sent one message and wishing us well.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he's a big fan. He's one of our biggest fans, I think.
Friend of the show.
Knew that was coming.
All right. I don't think that was. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's. Yeah, wait, is that for?
I don't know. It's fucking. He's in a rave.
I hope nobody gets
all those teeth.
Yeah, he's a shark, man. I'm telling you,
shark, man. Yeah.
He's got 3 rows of teeth. But what else do we have here? Okay. So everyone's talking about Riyadh season, TKO taking over boxing or potentially taking over boxing. But Tank Davis already see how the news cycle moves fast. People already forgot about poor Tank Davis. Now there's rumors that he will be coming back this year after only having fought once in 2025 and then getting in trouble with the law. Now I don't know how he's going to be fighting this year if he's got pending litigation or pending trial, right? Or he's got charges. On top of that, he was trying to evade the authorities, although some people are trying to downplay that and say he wasn't really on the run. But his trainer, Calvin Davis, is saying that he will be coming back. And hold on, I'm trying to find out how to. For some reason, I always lose the page here, so I can show it to you guys. Okay, here we go. So,
Ford.
What?
Calvin Ford. And
he said he will be back in the mix. And he said this on the Rise podcast. Tank has been doing this since he was 7 years old. Sometimes you need that new start because that reset means a lot. The person I want to see him in the ring with is the one we're going to fight. So apparently it's already set. That's why I can't say it. I'm campaigning for it. Well, wait a minute. I'm campaigning for it, but they're already going to fight him. All right, that makes no sense. But check that out, too. The way he says, Tank has been doing this since he was 7 years old, so he needed a little bit of a break. I mean, that sounds like in Oz, the prison show, where a guy tries to rob a liquor store or something, and then he gets arrested, and he gets 15 years or something. He tells the guy, I think part of me wanted to get caught. It was my subconscious telling me, man, hey, take some time off the streets. It's like, who the fuck wants to take 15 years in the pen because you want some time off? So it seems like he's playing this angle like, no, this is all by design. Tank, got into trouble because he wants to take a little break and reset his batteries. Like, no, man, or recharge your batteries. No, man, it's just, this is another dude that can control himself. And he's squandering his career. I mean, Stu said it 8 years ago. He said, I'm a fan of Tank Davis. That's what he said. He's got a whole bunch of talent and skills, but he just doesn't have it. He seems like he doesn't have the mentality for it. And that was 8 years ago. And sure enough, he's never fought the best lightweight.
8 years ago, man.
Oh, wait, 27. No, hold on. 2018. He said it in 2018, I remember. And so, I mean,
that's 8 years ago. Yep, 8 years ago.
He was right.
Shit.
I mean, look at this. So, what do you guys think? Is Tank Davis' career still salvageable, or is he going to end up like Danny Garcia and Errol Spence and some of these other PBC guys who are going to be 35 and wondering, man, where did my career go?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna keep pushing this guy out. I mean, you got to think like someone like I'm not saying Calvin Davis or what's his name?
Yeah, Calvin Davis.
Granny glasses, his trainer.
Calvin
Ford.
Ford. Yeah, what
Tank
the fuck?
Davis.
Calvin Davis. All right, sorry.
Calvin Ford. What'd I call him?
No, I
Calvin
said. I think I said Calvin Davis. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of these fighters, man, they got all these hanger-ons, man. You got to look at them like a piece of property, right?
Oh.
Like these are people's meals tickets, and that's how they get treated, and that's why they're always in this trouble. I don't think they ever realize, oh man, I got all these leeches around me, and that's all that they are to him. So yeah, they're gonna shove his ass back out.
Okay, so you think of course you think he's gonna fight, but my question is, do you think his career is he's gonna squander his career? Is he gonna end up like Danny Garcia and Errol Spence and these dudes and Keith Thurman? They look back at their career and they go, well, what was my best win? I'm already 35 now, and it's those days are gone.
It's already we're already there. We're already there.
Really?
We don't need to go further. Well, he's already 32, and look at his build. He's not gonna be a guy that can fight till he's 38, 39. This is it. This is the end. I mean, his build, little 5'4" pudgy guy. Man, you're not like built like Snackford. You're not built like these other guys.
That's a great point. Well, first of all, he's 31, so usually that's your peak for boxers. Nowadays that's your physical peak. But you know what? You said something he's 5'5" allegedly, or 5 feet 5.5 inches tall. Once he's banking on his speed and his power. And not even his speed, because he doesn't really throw that many. He's banking on just moving around, taking guys out with one shot. And we saw what happens against Isaac Cruz and against Lamont Roach. When that doesn't work out, it becomes a very tough fight. So if that speed and that timing starts diminishing, yeah, he'll have the power. But like you said, a 5'5" guy who's not faster than his opponent and all he has is power, he's going to be in trouble.
Well, against these bigger guys too, he's probably is a small guy. He's not going to be able to be Nonito Donaire fighting at 45, like in a smaller weight class with guys that are smaller than you. Stanky Davis, you're 5'4", you get pudgy, you don't train, and then you're going to be fighting these giants like Haney and Garcia. That's who they're going to want you to fight, and they're monsters compared to this guy.
I think that's why Keyshawn Davis was so intent, and maybe still is, on fighting him, and maybe even Devin Haney and Shakur Stevens, because they look at this guy and they go, he's pretty small compared. These dudes were hiding down in the lightweight, and Ryan Garcia as well, and they look at this dude. And you know what? I think that's and of course it's because he's the relatively big name compared to them, so they still want to fight. But you're right though. I think that's why Keyshawn Davis really wanted that fight too. Remember when he said Tank is crazy, but I'm crazier. I'm on another level. And then he did the crazy eyes that he always does. He gave that camera the Manson lamps that he does. And I'm thinking, man, I don't know, man. Yeah, but Tank. And who do you guys think he could be fighting against? Because Calvin Ford said the fight I want is already there. Who's he gonna fight at lightweight? If it's gonna be a lightweight, who could it be? Would it have to be somebody from the PBC?
I mean, only name just straight off the top of my head, Pitbull, but he's already at 140.
And he's calling out Duarte. Pitbull is calling out Duarte.
I'll do it. Well, for Stank Davis, I mean, I know they were rumors, Pitbull, we haven't heard what he's doing, but I can't think of any other name because he's the only one that has a name. Who else? He's not going to fight those guys, Keyshawn and Haney. They're too big, so you got to think someone that he won't be massively, bigger than him.
I'm looking at the top 10, top 11 rather rankings here.
It'll be probably someone you never heard of, and he'll be like, it's already there. I already know who's there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I mean, when he fought Lamont Roach, no one saw that shit coming.
Because that's true. That's true. And on top of that, the Sheik he doesn't want to do business with the Sheik, Tank Davis. Or he doesn't appear unless maybe he's turned around and said, you know what, maybe I do want. But I don't know. Look, I'm looking at the rankings here. Ring TV's top 10 lightweight rankings. You got Javier Herrera. Then you got Lucas Baadi from my neck of the woods. But that guy would be easy work for Tank Davis. I mean, Baadi would have a puncher's chance, but that's about it. Sam Noakes, who just lost to in a close fight against Abdullah Mason. Floyd Schofield, who actually hasn't fought since the... He beat Farmer, and then that's it, right? He hasn't fought since. Who knows what he's doing with his career?
Schofield said he's fighting in April.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I think he just posted. And it might be against Lucas Body.
I thought that was Abdullah. Oh, okay. Flo Schofield's Badi. Okay, that's a winnable fight for Schofield right there. It's a dangerous one because, like I said, Badi can crack. Andy Cruz at number 6, Cepeda at 5, Gervonta 4, Gervonta Davis, Murataya number 3, or Muratata as Gypsy likes to call him. Stevenson number 2, meaning number 1, and then the Ring Magazine title. But wait a minute, Shakur Stevenson's already. He says he wants to move back down to lightweight, right? Which I don't even know if he's going to be able to do that. But who could it be that Tank Davis is saying that Calvin Ford is saying Davis is going to fight already? Could be William Cepeda, right? Maybe, and then hey, if he could stop Cepeda, it's like, hey, I could do it. Shakur Stevenson couldn't.
It'd have to be someone he can have all the advantages against, with their mentality, that he can dictate ring size, gloves, where it's going to be, judges,
temperature,
somebody that he can dictate every single thing, rehydration clause, somebody he's going to be able to do that to.
Well, I think that the Cepeda fight would be winnable because Cepeda would be coming at him, and I think that's what Tank wants. He wants guys that go at him so he can pick him apart, and he can be judicious with his punch output as always, but this time it would work. And then on top of that, Cepeda's not a big puncher, so it probably would be tricky for Davis early on, but I think, and then on top of that, Davis punches harder, punch for punch, than Cepeda, so that would be a winnable fight. And if he beats and he stops Cepeda, he could say, hey, look, I outdid Shakur Stevenson, the guy who's you guys are trying to shove down our throats. Guess what? If he's a god in your eyes, what am I? That would be a good strategy. But then again, and you know what else it's possible? Because Top Rank, PBC and De La Hoya are doing business now. They did it with the Barrios Garcia. They're going to do it with what's his name, Benavides and Zurdo Ramirez. You never know. Could be a pivot here to counterattack the Sheik and TKO and Dana White and all those other dudes. Remains to be seen. What else do we have here? Adames. Okay, so I don't know if people care about this, but Carlos Adames and Amo Williams will be it will be happening. The much anticipated fight that didn't happen a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be taking place in Orlando, Florida, March the 21st. So mark your calendars for that one. Clear your schedules because that's the fight everybody wanted to see, and we're getting it. Also in the news, Pacquiao said that Mayweather, he alleges, I don't know if it's true, but Pacquiao said that Mayweather allegedly wanted their bout to be an exhibition bout, but that Pacquiao insisted, no, it's got to be a real fight. You guys believe that?
No, I don't believe anything. You're saying that Pacquiao?
That's right.
I believe Pacquiao. Yes, I believe Pacquiao.
Is that right?
And what he's saying.
Why don't you believe?
I don't believe anything.
Why wouldn't you believe anything Mayweather said? Why wouldn't you believe what Mayweather said? What's going on here?
I don't know. When someone tells me they robbed me, then I don't believe anything they say.
Oh, okay. I get
when
what
he
you're
used
saying.
to say he used to rob the fans, or there was some saying he used to say. So,
well, I remember when he said he called his HBO contract a slave contract or slave wages.
No, I would never trust anything Fraud Mayweather told me. I just wouldn't.
I got you, man.
I think it's all hustle talk. He's just a hustler.
I
like
get
in
you.
the vein of Bill Haney, and he used to run with Jay Prince, and who do you align with himself with 50 Cent, and then they had a falling out. So that's how people are, right? When someone has a problem with everybody they were cool with, and then they just have all these falling outs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, though. You're right. Yeah, he's not exactly a trustworthy person, especially the way he spent his money. Also in the news, Josh Kelly is calling out Ryan Garcia, and he says that they could make it 154. And he says, I watched the Ryan Garcia fight and thought it was a great performance. I want a chance at becoming... No, he says, do you want a chance at becoming two-weight world champion? I'll be waiting. Battle of the pretty boys, baby. So he's referring to himself as a pretty boy, and Ryan Garcia as well as a pretty boy. So it's a little bizarre there. It's like, who cares about whether they're pretty boys? I mean, hey, Frank, are you going to be excited? For the fight of the pretty, it's two pretty boys. Before I didn't care, but now that I realize they're pretty boys, I'm going to watch it. What?
Oh, yeah. I love me some Rai. What do they call him? Riri?
Rai. Yeah, it makes
the Zoolander fight. It's the Zoolander fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What are they? The face, not the face off, the walk off or whatever they did. Yeah, in that movie.
Pull my hair and slap me across the face and call me a bitch.
But I mean, isn't it interesting how everybody wants a piece of Ryan Garcia now? Haney's.
Oh yeah, we all do.
No. Okay, but in the sense that all these fighters, Haney said he didn't want it. Now apparently he came out and said that he does want the fight. Shakur Stevenson wants the fight. Josh Kelly wants the fight. Probably Richardson Hitchens maybe wants to. I mean, everybody wants a shot at Ryan Garcia in the ring. And like Bucho said, he's a pretty boy. He's an Instagram model. He's not a real fighter, but Shakur Stevenson wants that catchweight with him. Why not move up to 147 and fight him like Crawford did against Canelo? No catchweight, no rehydration clause. It's weird.
But that's the funny thing. I mean, if they think he's food, they just don't think he's that good. That's the only thing I can think of. They look at him and feel that they'll beat him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but and that's the thing. Some people say, well, Ryan Garcia is the one who introduced the 140 thing, that he wants a 140. Isn't it interesting, coincidental, whatever word you want to use? Chad Dawson did the same thing in 2012 against Andre Ward. Chad Dawson was a 175-pound champion. Ward was a 168-pound champion. And Chad Dawson's the one that introduced the idea of, I can make 168. And then Andre Ward, never want to miss an opportunity to have an advantage. He goes, well, if you can make it, you're the one that said it, so let's do a 168. And who was managing Andre Ward? James Prince. Who manages Shakur Stevenson right now? James Prince. I don't know what it is about these James Prince fighters, but their opponents all of a sudden always want to give up an advantage. They're always willing to come down a division to fight them. Well, not always, but I mean, two scenarios, and there might be more that I haven't even dug into. So I find that weird. I find that strange. I find that peculiar.
Disgusting.
What else we got here? Well, let's see what people in the chat are saying. Brian Rodriguez says it would be crazy if Ryan beat Stevenson. Broughton Boxing says, fuck that catchweight business. Absolutely. But then again, with the catchweights, though, I'm sort of revising what Tank Davis. I didn't like the catchweight thing and the rehydration clause against Ryan Garcia. But then you look at the size of these dudes, and that's the way it is now. The game, everyone's trying to get one advantage over another fighter. So if they counterattack with these clauses and catchweights and 36-hour weigh-ins and to counteract the weight bullying or to implement the weight bullying, then unfortunately that's the way you do it. That's why nowadays I'm going to start saying I don't mind the PEDs in boxing, because if people get away with the weight bullying and the clinching and the dipping below the waist and catch weights, dehydration clauses, fuck, let the guys cheat, and if they get caught, they get caught, and if they don't, everyone's cheating nowadays now, baby.
Well, that's the mentality. That's the mentality. You guys were talking about Richardson Hitchens earlier. It's just that mentality that you can't fight unless you have some kind of advantage. It don't matter what it is, right? If you do the reach, the height, just something. I got to kill this guy to make weight. That's the mentality. And the problem is that it's made for casuals, right? Like no casual boxing fan is ever gonna know these things. And that's why they do these things, because they know, oh well, yeah, you motherfucking hardcore weirdos, get off our dick. You know how they, right? If you criticize, I'll get off my dick. Mm-hmm. They're not, the casuals are never gonna know these things. Oh, it was a big ass ring. Oh, he wasn't able to wear his Reyes gloves. But only nerds like us know these things.
Well, nerds like you. I'm not a nerd. Definitely not. I've always been a jock. I still am. I got the jawline of a jock, and I don't even have to jaw max or whatever they call it. No, but you're right though. You make an interesting point. I just saw this over at Sobers' whatchamacallit, Discord, by the way. And actually, hold on, I can't find it now. I'm gonna post it in a couple seconds. But yeah, you're right though. And that's the other thing I hate, Frank, when people say, "Well, everyone's cheating." So the Victor Conte thing. Well, everyone's cheating. So if everyone's cheating, it ain't cheating when you do it. It's like what? It seems like it's open warfare now. It's open war, and it's open season on people just doing what they got to do to win, and it's been that way. And that's also an excuse for some people, because they're the ones that instigate the cheating and the dirty tactics, and then they go, "Well, it's boxing." Okay, it is boxing. You're right. It's a combat sport. It's not an actual fucking street fight. So that's one of the things that I dislike hearing. But
that's when you put just real quick how you determine who's the best, right? Because one interesting thing I heard, I don't know how true it is, maybe someone could fact check me, is that Manny Pacquiao, why he was considered great or greater than Floyd, someone was making an argument, is because he fought 11 times as the underdog. I guess during his run of being like as the underdog. When did Ward or Mayweather fight as an underdog?
I don't think I can't think of one. I think he was like 50-50 before, but he was never an underdog. I can't think of one.
That's interesting, man.
Some people are gonna say, well, they were that good that they were always the the favorite, but at the same time, come on, so that you can always challenge yourself. You
Was
can
he
fight
the
somebody
underdog
bigger.
against Corrales?
I don't think so. That might have been
Maybe a slight underdog.
I don't
If
know.
he
I
was
think he
ever,
was a
if
slight
he
underdog.
was even a no.
Hey, by the way, I was rereading
Go ahead.
the 2010 issue of Ring Magazine. I forget which one it was because the archives are free now, and they were talking about the build up to. I don't have that issue, by the way, so it was interesting. They were chronicling the fallout from the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Because remember, 2010 was the peak year to do it. That was when Pacquiao had just beaten Cotto and Mayweather had beaten Formula Marquez. So it was a perfect time to do it, just a perfect time, and it didn't happen. It took 5 years to make. Teddy Atlas, because remember Mayweather said, he introduced that Nevada testing all of a sudden. And Pacquiao said, okay, but there will only be 2 tests in the build-up to the fight or something. And Teddy Atlas was one of the guys casting aspersions on Pacquiao too. And he was very sneaky. He was like, well, rumor on the street is people are saying, like, which people? And it was just his opinion, but he was hiding behind that because, he's kind of a shrewd guy.
I heard a rumor. There's a rumor.
So Teddy Atlas...
There's rumors about Mayweather too, right? There's rumors about Mayweather too, right?
Well, I mean, it's confirmed about the IV bag the day before the Pacquiao fight. That's confirmed. That's in the report. So, yeah, but with Teddy Atlas doesn't touch that. I don't know. He's a weird dude. He definitely has a certain bias, but I just can't point. If you ask me why, I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know it. And by the way, Teddy Atlas is the same guy that pointed a gun at Mike Tyson's, a 13-year-old or 15-year-old Mike Tyson. And like what Ripet says, like, why was your niece? Because apparently Mike Tyson was flirting with Teddy Atlas' niece. And like what Ripet said, well, first of all, why is she doing near him? You're supposed to be the grown-up there. Aren't you supposed to control? And why are you pointing a gun at a 15-year-old's face? If you like Rapid said, if you're gonna point, or I think it was Rapid who said, if you're gonna point a gun at somebody, it's only when you point it when you're about to use it, not as a threat. Like, hey, motherfucker! Like you had to intimidate a 15-year-old that way because you couldn't do it on your own. And I'm telling you, Teddy Atlas. The more I read about him, the less I respect him. He really does seem to be a very a shady character. Remember when he was antagonizing George Foreman too in the build-up to a Moore fight? And he starts shoving him. Was Foreman is sitting down and Foreman's just...
He probably thought he was mine. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. How he thought he was going to get into George Foreman's set by pushing him.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think Teddy Atlas, he should have hit the weight room. He should have hit the weights if he wanted to fight George Foreman. He should have hit the weights at Venison Beach. Remember that? In that there's a video game. I forget which one. I forget which video game it is of the fight night or whatever. And he's talking about, oh, this guy's pretty muscular. He looks like he's been working out in Venison Beach. I'm just Venison Beach. He's been training in Bologna Beach. I mean, this dude, I'm telling you, he's quite something. That's why sometimes I'm going to start listening to his podcast more. Just to be entertained a little bit, maybe have a little ammo on this.
I think he's some of these boomers. They romanticize the past and what's in the past. Well, there's, American boxers, African American boxers, Ali, Leonard, and so when they see a Crawford, Hagler, when they see those like boxers, they feel like they have to support these fighters. They want them to win, like it's Rocky IV, like the American against
Jordan's on and his Nike cap.
Yeah, but this is a different era. Yeah, these aren't the same guys from the past.
Yeah, like Mr. Pelavaca says, why pull a gun on a kid for that? I mean, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I know I know Mike Tyson as a kid wasn't a regular kid, but sometimes you can mentally intimidate these people. And he, Teddy Atlas, for all his talk about how I'm a good psychologist and this and that. Listen, the guy's got a scar on his face for a reason. Somebody pulled a knife on him and they caught him off guard. He wasn't ready. He wasn't on point. He didn't have, what do they call it nowadays? Situational awareness. By the way, we're talking about Richard Hitchens. Somebody on Sobers has posted this. I don't know who did this. I don't know who. Holly Saunders. Okay, Holly Saunders. That's De La Hoya's partner. That's what he called her. But somebody, I think she retweeted or reliked this picture here. Hold on, look at this. I mean, they're going at Richard Hitchens pretty hard now. I don't know if he's gonna. Maybe this might actually wake him up and say, "Hey, man, I ain't nobody's bitch." By the way, is it me?
That fight.
Is it me or does Richard Hitchens look like a dinosaur? Look at his neck. He looks like a dinosaur.
Was it called Brachiosaurus or Brachiosaurus?
Pullosaurus, because he pulls out the fights. But yeah, man. I mean, that's all I got for today here. Anything else you guys want to mention before we move on? Just so you know.
You guys got any predictions for Navarrete Sugar Nunez?
Well, yeah, well, go ahead, man, if you want to give your take.
I was just going to say, I got Navarrete winning. I've watched a little bit of Sugar Nunez. He's very fundamentally sound, but there's one thing that a fundamentally sound fighter has so much trouble against. It's someone as unorthodox as Navarrete. We've seen Navarrete take those kind of guys to school. The Valdez's, the Christopher Diaz's, the Isaac Dogbays. I think he's going to beat him pretty soundly, unanimous decision. That's what I have. I think that's a really good style matchup for Navarrete. That's what I have. And a very fun fight, though. I think goes the distance. UD for Navarrete. Go ahead.
If you compare both fighters, like I think BDA did it right earlier. You showed pictures of both of them, and my fucking god, there's a difference. Now I know it's not a bodybuilding contest or a physique contest, but fuck, what the hell? Navarrete looks like shit.
Yeah, he's a dope boy, definitely.
Yeah, but I agree with you, and I think Navarrete is gonna win this one. I think Sobers doesn't want him to win though. He says. What did Sobers say?
The day of the Indio's done.
Because Sobers is one of those.
Who wins?
Sobers is one of those light-skinned Mexicans. Like he goes to Europe and he blends in well. So when he looks like Navarrete, he goes, "He's beneath me. He's fucking Indio." That's what he says. That's what he said. He's been on the record saying that. I've heard him, and that's no lie. That's not fake news. That's not me making it up. No, but. Yeah, you know what, Quentin, you have a point, but the thing with, how people were saying weeks ago in the build-up to the Teofimo Lopez Shakur Stevenson fight, like, well, it depends on which Lopez shows up. And I remember saying, well, no, that doesn't make any sense because Lopez always shows up in shape. It's just that he doesn't do well against movers. That's why he looks like shit. Navarrete is a guy that, that depends on which one he shows up, because sometimes he'll show up and already he's not the most, he doesn't have the most... from a Greco-Roman aesthetic perspective, he doesn't have the best body out there. But even in the other fights, he looked even worse. In his last fight against Charlie Suarez, he looked like the love handles were particularly protruding from his trunks. And I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? This guy has a lot of ability, man. He was on his way of being a top 10 pound for pounder between 2018 and 2022. He was beating up a lot of these dudes that other guys couldn't beat up. But he just doesn't seem to take it seriously.
Yeah, those are definitely valid points. I'm definitely not going to argue against that, but
you couldn't argue.
Yeah, he said it like those are valid points, but
yeah, exactly. It's like, well, those points are shit, but I'm not going to get into it. Yeah.
No, I said I definitely can't argue against that. But I will say that he seems to be pretty decent at this weight class. Like the last fight against Suarez, I believe that ended with a cut, right?
Yes.
And I remember him really shredding and just whooping Suarez's ass. Now, of course, we don't know who really Suarez is, but I just feel like this is the perfect weight class for him. This is where he can eat how he wants, but not too much to where when he moved up to 135, it was just him putting on more fat. And he looked terrible against, what was the guy's name? The Ukrainian guy, the fake Lomachenko guy?
Barenchik. The fake Lomachenko,
yeah. I know,
Timu Loma, that's what you mean.
Yeah, I just feel like this is a perfect style for him. Like when I watch Sugar Nunez fight, very exciting fighter, very fundamentally sound, but he has all the advantages at this weight class, taller, longer reach, and then he has like this weird style where he can just change trajectory on his uppercuts on the inside, like some Mr. Fantastic shit. It's crazy. I think he'll get away with it in this fight.
Oh, and by the way, I have a go on the Patreon because there's a video that I posted about, I think it was a year ago, but it should be easy to find. It's Navarrete's underrated defense. And I show, because some people don't believe me, but I show that he does have underrated defense. He punches, and just as soon as he's off balance and you think you've got him, he'll put those gloves over immediately, tuck that chin, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can't hit him. And he's got good lean back game too, good footwork, even though he crosses his feet, but
he's got better defense than Floyd.
All right, fool, come on. I mean, you just jump on and immediately you say the most... But wait, but speaking... But
no, he does. He does.
You're serious.
But
he does. He does. He has better defense than Shakur because he can actually be active and move and catch shots on his shoulders while throwing punches. He's actually very dynamic, extremely dynamic.
Interesting. I mean, Floyd
is a bitch that runs around just defense first, doesn't even throw punches. I mean, come on. When it comes to actual fighting, that guy's got a way better style.
Yeah, if Navarrete, when he gets caught, it's usually when he's leaning backwards, crossing his feet, because there's sometimes where he accidentally goes southpaw because he throws himself.
He's an action fighter, so he's always coming. He's always throwing punches.
If he does get caught, if he does get caught, he's going to doing that. But I I still just feel like this is a good style matchup for him.
Because he brings the action. And sometimes when you do that, you get caught.
The action. Hey, by the way, Chile Distributor in the chat, Chile Distributor says, is it true that BDA gave El Taquero, not El Vaquero, El Taquero Navarrete his workout routine? No, that's fake news, Chile. And you better watch it, mister, because you're on thin ice here. But I was going to say, Fu, because you got here late, but we were talking about Terence Crawford's comments that he made on the Joe Rogan podcast. And I didn't listen to the whole thing because I can't. It's just, he's not interesting enough.
Yeah, I can't do it, man.
But his lie about the beef?
The beef?
What beef? He's backed up because of beef.
No. I don't know what you're talking about, but he said that Afro-Anglo fighters are expected to act like clowns and trash talk and act abrasive in the build-up to fights more than anybody else, or just them and not anybody else. What and then Rogan pointed out that, well, what about Conor McGregor is a trash talker, and then Crawford said, well, he's one of us because the Irish people, they went through the similar stuff that we went through. So what do you think about all that?
Wow. I think it's a load of shit.
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, it's not true. Not true. No, well, that's the public that expects that, and the boxing media. They're the ones that push these clowns. You know, they don't push like a clean cut fighter, right? Like even like a guy like a Tim Bradley was kind of clean cut. He was a decent fighter. They didn't really push him. Even though he fought Manny Pacquiao, he never became a star like Floyd did, right? That's because of the boxing machine. They pushed him, and the public. You know, the boxing public also wanted that more. So this is what the public wants. So this is what they're giving them.
I don't know about that though, because first of all, you're proving his point, saying, well, they're pushing the trash talk.
You're agreeing with him then.
Exactly.
Okay, so you agree that people are expecting, but the way Crawford said it is like somebody's telling these people to do that or something.
He's making it like it's at the highest level, like this is what they're pushing. This is what the public wants.
Well, he says they.
Let's think of the guys that were the biggest stars. Manny Pacquiao was one of the biggest stars in boxing. When has he ever really talked shit?
Right. What is he crying about? I mean, look, it's black people as well. They like these kind of fighters, right? Mm-hmm. So it sounds like he's pushing like a race narrative. It's like, bro, like all your black fans are like, they like guys like John Jones who fucking, you know, hits pregnant women with his car and all that. If you're clean cut, they're like, look at this bitch. He's a bitch.
Well, I mean,
when Crawford says they, I don't think he's talking about the public in general. He's talking about
the man,
like the higher ups or something. The man.
I think he means like the evil white man, right?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, but that's not true at all, because a lot of those fans that like these guys like Tank Davis, and, you know, Shakur Stevenson who beats a random stranger in the street. All those black fans like that shit.
Man, Phil, are you feeling food while talking?
Yeah, what I was going to ask, what do you want?
Sorry, I'm eating a late dinner. Sorry.
A late dinner. It's 10:29. You're probably having a big. You're probably getting a.
I just got back.
You're probably washing it all down with an extra large cup of coffee too, right? At 10:29 p.m.
No.
No, but
these guys are Crawford and Shakur Stevenson. I don't know.
That's a pretty good impersonation. Frank did his impersonation. Now you're doing it. That's a pretty good one. But I was going to say, look, Errol Spence, who for a long time was Crawford's nemesis, he sold better than Crawford did, and he wasn't a trash talker. And I don't. And the see, that's the thing though. The fans, there's a lot of fans that they loved Wilder and they loved Tank Davis, but they didn't like Crawford. And you could be, not mistaken, but you could be pressured to think, oh yeah, it's interesting. Look at those two guys; they love him. In fact, they constantly addressed Deontay Wilder as their king. But they don't do it with Crawford. But I also think it has to do with Crawford's dull personality.
I think he was more attractive.
Oh, I think it also had to do with. I think it also had to do with Bob
No,
Arum.
don't joke. I think they thought he was more attractive.
Well, I think also had to.
That's probably.
Well, maybe, but hold on. The PBC factor too. It's a lot of these guys. They preferred Spence and Wilder and Tank because they were with the PBC. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think it necessarily had to do with the fact, because again,
Spence wasn't. I forgot about it. Yeah, no, it had to do with the Al Heyman thing.
Right.
It's because have you seen his fans? They usually have their shirts like tied in a knot around their stomach.
Okay, come on. That's not true. That's not. Oh man.
I mean, I've seen guys like Eagle Boxing talk about this guy's abs.
Like Teofimo Lopez's father. When you look at those abs, look at that boy.
Oh my god! Look at those abs.
Fights his lower level.
I remember. I mean, look at Andrew Ruiz. Look, Andrew Ruiz didn't get popular, right? He laid out AJ, but then AJ's still popular. How's that? Because of the way he looks.
You might be onto something.
Right, you notice they couldn't even sell him. They couldn't sell Andy. They sold AJ just fine.
That's a good. Yeah, you know. Well, I mean, yeah, that's England. That's a different thing too. On top of that, but you're right though. It's. I mean, I don't know. I still look at the Errol Spence thing and I go, yeah, that dude wasn't a trash talker. He was a bigger name than Crawford. Again, might have been the PBC factor. I don't know.
And he looked very dominant too. He was a feared fighter when he was in his prime.
He also came from like a big media market in Texas, and the Cowboys owner really liked him, so that he was going to get a lot of press over there. Nebraska, there's a lot of people who don't even know that's a fucking U.S. state. So
He also had a fan-friendly style, right? Like, you've never seen Earl Spence run away for a whole fight.
They used to call him the Body Snatcher. Remember, that was his nickname. He used to go to the body a lot, so it was really fun.
You know what part of the body.
I don't know if anybody watched the interview, because I didn't watch the whole interview, but why did Crawford bring that up, that subject?
The
like,
victim
out of
stuff.
nowhere? Well, yeah, it's kind of like weird. Because what were you talking about that you had to bring that up? And I don't know. It feels like he's always complaining about something. And like I said earlier, I think it's because he wants to explain why his career didn't go the way he should have gone, I guess, or the way he wanted it to go. Well, he's blaming it on racism. He's blaming it on Bob Arum and Top Rank. He's blaming it. I didn't trash talk like they wanted me to do. You know, I like he basically believes he did everything right and nothing went the way it should have gone. You know,
Well, his style wasn't as entertaining as Earl Spence's. Earl Spence was a more fun fighter to watch, right? Like I said, he never really takes steps back. He's always coming forward.
Well,
and he's busting you up, even if it's like dirty shots. You know, he's destroying guys.
Crawford was stomping people, but again, I think it's also Earl Spence had the superior. What's it call it?
Well, he's also at the lower weights.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the bigger the guys get, the more popular they are. That's why it's so weird that he grew like that, right? He came up and he's bigger than Earl Spence. I was like, huh, interesting.
But also, Spence
right? Because those smaller guys, they're usually not as big as those bigger guys, especially welterweights. People like welterweights. Right. You know, Spence was there for a little while.
But Spence also didn't have the big fights, or didn't have like Spence. He fought who did he fight? Sean Porter.
Sean Porter.
Oh, he fought a bunch of guys, and they weren't old as hell, right?
No, exactly. So people, you're gonna be talking more about Spence than Crawford, who's fighting Kell Brook and Amir Khan in Dongo. What's the game? The Ukrainian guy. Fuck.
Oh, you're talking about
he fought guys you didn't remember their names.
Oh,
Postal, and Gamboa.
That guy.
Like,
I see this guy and get beat up in my gym.
They're not memorable fights. They're not memorable opponents.
The one leg is
Postal. Postal is never good.
Yeah.
It's nothing great.
He was a top contender, one of the top in the division. Okay, fine, but he wasn't. I mean, it's not like he was fighting. He wasn't Sugar Ray Leonard against Tommy Hearns or anything like that.
His best win is Danny Garcia's sloppy seconds.
No.
Right? Danny Garcia broke his orbital bone, and then he went down there, and that's how Postal got him. Like, oh my God, he's beat Lucas Matisse. It's like Danny Garcia for softening him up. You know, Danny destroyed that guy's whole career. He never recovered from that eye injury.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Hey, by the way, Fu, you said that the Tank Davis fans, they tie their shirts up in a knot. Are these the guys? Are these the same guys you're saying?
It's not just them, but you know.
No, but are these? I'm on the screen here. Is this that typical Tank fan?
Oh yeah. That's Boots and his fans too.
Nah, come on.
What the fuck is that?
The Boots and he sees through his clothes. Well, what are you trying to say? They have like superpowers? What
I mean, hey, what am I saying? But
hey, I'm wondering who's Tank Davis gonna blame in 5 years?
Probably Al Heyman, just like Floyd.
Who's Devin Haney gonna blame? Who's Devin Haney? Who's he gonna blame?
This man didn't like me.
He's, you know what?
Tank didn't like me because I'm not white.
Tank is probably gonna blame the PBC, or the way Floyd Mayweather did a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, Al Heyman.
Yeah, like they didn't know what they were doing.
Did you see Floyd? The new video of Floyd? He's at fucking Costco signing wine bottles.
Yeah, vodka, right?
He's signing cheap wine. Like cheap wine.
Well, why? He came out with his brand or something, or what?
He's so broke. And he
That
came
reminds
in
me
there
of-
with a whole fucking like it looked like MC Hammer, you know, he had like 30 dudes with him.
But wait
He
a
walks in
minute.
there
Wait
with
a minute.
"Wow."
reminds me of Evander Holyfield. Remember that? He's like coming out with his hot sauce or something in Atlanta or something.
Yeah.
Where was he from? I don't even remember. Yeah.
He's got to do anything he can, right?
He's from, we told Mayweather he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. But yeah, imagine, but those gel blasters didn't sell so well a few Christmases ago. He thought that was going to be his George Foreman grill. Didn't turn out that way.
I got to take umbrage here with food, though. You seem very glad and happy and giddy that Mayweather is having financial difficulties. Why would you do that for
I mean,
him?
he shit on the sport for over a decade. He's like, we don't do it to prove who's the best. Fuck the fans. That's what he did forever. He fought in this shitty way. He tried to rob the bank, and in the end, he got robbed. And now he's broke. Yeah, he was just a honeypot. He was part of a scam. That's how he was Al Heyman's little honeypot. He sucked in all those fighters with the dream. You know, it's sort of like shit tube, right? They got this guy, Mr. Beast. He's like, oh my God, I could be like Mr. Beast. Well, guess what? Mr. Beast is probably owned by YouTube. He's a fraud.
Yeah.
And so they suck all these people in and they rob them. All those fighters got robbed.
I remember Jimmy. He used to say that they probably had Mayweather in the same room when they were trying to bring these fighters over to the PBC. So yeah, they show up to the meeting. Yeah, I have Floyd here. You're gonna be.
They probably had Mayweather put all his cash on the table in stacks. Yep. Like, you can have all this. You can have all this too. Just like Mayweather. He's got his glasses on. He's got 10 people standing behind him.
Yeah, it's fitting. It's fitting that you see Dana White and Turki coming in here and taking the shit over, and that's the old guard right there. He was their showpiece, right? They created his ass, and now look at him. He's done. He's finished. That whole system's finished.
Gee,
they're
what
done.
the
The Al
hell?
Haymans and all that.
The fact that he's fighting Pacquiao in a real fight, by the way, guys, this isn't an exhibition. This is a real. To me, it shows that he's really broke because this is a risk. This is
He
a
never
big
wanted
risk.
to fight him.
He never
didn't want
wanted to
that
fight
rematch.
him. And the fact that he's doing it now and it's not even an exhibition, and he probably would like it to be an exhibition, but I'm pretty sure Netflix went
Man, he didn't want
listen, we're not going to throw money into this fight if it's not a real fucking fight. I mean, you're not going to get away with this.
Manny
like
wouldn't have
fighting John
taken
Gotti or...
Manny didn't
What's
want
that?
it unless it was a real fight.
There you go. Well,
He wants to beat that guy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure not everybody was in agreement. This has to be a real fight, or else there is no fucking point. And he had because he has no choice because he's fucking broke. He took the fight.
Yeah,
because
I think it's going to generate more money.
He's laying him out. Watch.
I also
And
think
he's
it'll
gonna knock him
generate
out.
a bit more money if it's a real fight. Like, what do you guys think? If it's an exhibition, do you think it would generate as much? If he's trying to look, no, it's a legit real fight.
No.
And these guys apparently need the money. We know Mayweather, the IRS is after his ass. We know he didn't use his money well. Pacquiao apparently just gave a lot of his money away to poor people in the Philippines.
And also his campaign.
Yeah, they need
he
money.
spent a lot apparently he spent a lot.
Well, Manny actually loves boxing. Floyd doesn't.
Yeah.
Floyd just used boxing.
Well, Manny Pacquiao, I think too. I think Pacquiao's on the same boat a little bit. I mean, that guy spends a lot of money. He pays for everybody's education. I mean, he's like a little bit like Durant. He just throws money. But
he wants a rematch. He's talked about it all the time. He says he always wanted the rematch,
and that's why, like
now
you
he's getting
said, that's why it's a risk that Floyd's taking because he was content with, hey, we were the two best fighters of our generation. I beat you, and I walk away. Yeah, I won. Yeah. But now the fact that he has to fight him 10 years later or 11 years later, that's very telling.
He always knew he didn't win that fight.
I know. I mean, I know what you're going with.
He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. He knew he didn't win that fight, so I kept ducking it. And look, this shows you that he knew that was the biggest money fight. They call this bum Money Mayweather. That's the case on why you fought Berto instead of rematching this guy.
Well, it is interesting that he didn't want the De La Hoya rematch, even though he'd agreed to it. And then the biggest fight of all time against Pacquiao, he doesn't want a rematch. Why not? Make another 100 mil.
And then he's an idiot and he let it slip a few years after. He said that was the hardest fight of his whole career.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
He said it. He's an idiot and he let it slip. They asked him, who was the hardest fight you ever had? He said, Manny Pacquiao. And you got to keep in mind, Manny, that wasn't even a prime Manny, and he didn't have a fucking shoulder. He only had one arm.
Well, neither guy was at the prime. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true, the shoulder thing. And then on top of that, Mayweather was doing the IV bag, illegal IV bag the day before the fight.
Floyd was way more preserved. Like Manny Pacquiao was like 60 plus fights in.
Okay, I thought you were going to say 60.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Floyd wasn't even at 50.
Pacquiao just fought Barrios. Last year he fought Barrios. That's a high level fight. He's a real fight.
I thought he beat him.
Floyd, I don't even remember when was his what was his last fight?
2015, official 2015.
His last real fight.
No, not even professional. Like just one.
I think Rogan Paul or no, it was that. What was that? Gaddy's grandson.
Gotti the third. John Gotti the third.
Yeah, it was a rematch. I think one of those.
That's so stupid.
He was gonna fight. He was gonna fight Bugsy Malone's grand nephew later on, but that fight fell through.
So again, are you in the chat as well? Are you guys surprised he's taking this fight? Because he's a guy that calculates every risk.
No, he needs the money. I think that's how.
I think that's it. Exactly. I'm trying to find out. Maybe there's another reason, but I don't see another reason. I really think he's just fucking broke.
Well, this is a fight that people wanted. People wanted it a long time ago, and he didn't give it to him. So now he knows this is the only one that's going to make money, and he thinks maybe he'll be able to survive it.
Well, let's remember
because if he goes and fights one of these young guys,
yeah, that's true.
Also he's not going to generate money.
Well, I mean, that's what
generate money with.
That's what I was gonna say. The last time I saw Floyd Mayweather fight exhibition, whatever, was against Logan Paul, and it was a clinch fest. It was horrible. Yep. So that's the best he could do against. I know the guy was bigger than him, but I mean, he wants to fucking have an exhibition against Mike Tyson. So I think that could go.
Oh yeah, that's the next one.
That's
what he wants to do next.
That could go okay for him because even though Tyson's much bigger, he's still he's got fucked up knees. He's got the long scars from all that. Well, not scar, but from all the weed and then all the coke he did when he was younger. So. Could potentially
that dude can't even walk anymore. He could barely walk.
Right.
It's an exhibition. I mean, how do you have an exhibition versus a guy who can barely walk? This is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. I don't even know if it really happens.
He was crying in between rounds. He's like,
when he said down. That was what Recognize said that when the guy sat down, he went, he made this weird noise.
That was a humiliation ritual or something. That's embarrassing.
Had to be.
No, that was in the
everyone because they made him look at his ass.
Remember, Mike only had 2 rounds in him, and they, after the 2 rounds, he was dead tired. They probably had an agreement that neither guy could knock the other one out.
Remember, they said that Jake Paul's sign to tell his opponent, "Hey, you're going too hard," is to stick his tongue out. That's what they were saying with Tyson. That they showed a clip where Tyson tries to clip him, and then Logan Paul starts waggling his tongue, and then the guy, then Tyson nods at him. So people are saying, "Oh yeah, you see, they had an agreement." So it's fun, but it's funny to watch it if you believe that. It's funny to watch the Joshua fight where he tried to rip his head off with a punch, and Jake Paul made him miss, and then he started wiggling his tongue, and then he started doing it again, and Joshua still tried to punch him. So imagine Joshua was trying to tell him, "Hey, stop!" Yeah.
That's that Kali face. They're all. He's not listening.
Yeah,
that's you know what that is? That's Kali. Those weird fucked up cult people. They worship that shit.
Oh come on, hold on. You're talking about Hindus, and you calling them fucked up people?
Yeah. Those guys worship Kali. That's what they worship.
All right, but you can't call them fucked up. I mean, you're being racially and religiously insensitive here.
Oh come on. Kali's trash.
Yeah, by the way, in the chat, Taco's saying, wouldn't any of you in the chat notice getting robbed $300 million just like Floyd, right? And then he says, Mayweather made smart investments. I mean...
smart investments. He invested his money into the bank of Al Heyman. He stole all his fucking money.
If you listen to him tell it, he made investments that were making him $300 million a month. So, he should be good. He should be
He's such a liar.
Who really believes
he said they robbed over $300 million from him.
So he's making $1 billion. I mean, this dude is insane, man.
He's a fucking retard.
and you know what?
He said that the 300.
Yeah.
He said that the $300+ million came from his fights versus Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor. That's what he said.
Well, I remember.
So it's like, bro, how did you get that much money?
What
sense does that make? That doesn't make sense. Even if he generated that, he takes it all for himself? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And Jimmy said that the guy, a large chunk of the I think the McGregor or the Pacquiao fight had to go to back taxes. And that was 2015. So
yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so I feel bad. I feel not bad necessarily, but I do sympathize with Mayweather, right? Because it's hard not to feel because the guy did earn the money, and then to see him piss it all away. That's
I wouldn't say he really
earned the money.
He got overpaid.
I mean, he trained hard. He hit the bag. He came up to the amateur ranks.
Man, get the hell out of
Easy.
here.
You can do that shit. What the fuck?
No, but what I'm saying is he put in the work.
He
is what I'm
doesn't
saying.
deserve to get paid. That Pacquiao fight, his purse should have been withheld.
Exactly.
He didn't work.
For real.
I know some garbage men that work a lot harder than him.
That's true.
And they
That's
don't
true.
get
I do
anywhere
agree with
near
that.
the amount of
I
money.
do agree with
Like
that.
he robbed us, man. He robbed the fans for a long time, man.
Yep. And he
All
openly
those
said
fights.
it. He said it openly. He said, "I'm robbing the bank." Like basically, he should have just said, "I'm robbing the fans."
You know,
He's
Steve Ken
robbing
made a,
Showtime.
Steve Ken made a funny statement. It was
Looks
on
like they're
Jason.
robbing his ass.
It was on.
And then they robbed him.
I'm pretty sure you guys know Steve Kim. He's been on here before. You know, famous boxing reporter. He was on Jason Whitlock's channel. You probably still find it's when they were talking about this fight being made. And he made a joke saying when Mayweather and Pacquiao happened 11 years ago, there was IRS agents all around the building for both fighters. Like they were waiting for the fight to end. They get a cut of their check. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Got money yet?
Hey, by the way, I'm looking at a couple of things here on Twitter. First of all, Eddie Hearn just did an interview. I think he just did an interview. Well, first of all, okay, one thing. This is David Benavidez talking about a potential Jai Opetaia fight. Jai Opetaia. Hold on a second.
Mhm.
Ah, come on. Now it's
That's
muted.
the one they want next.
Well, I don't know about that. Check this out.
That makes sense.
That's the one they want. That dude Benavidez. He's connected with that Turkey dude. For
All
sure,
right,
they're gonna sign him.
listen to this though. Listen to this though. Listen to this.
Let's play the video.
The Cejudo fight goes the way you think it's going to go. Is there a road? Have there been discussions? Have there been thoughts to a potential fight with Opetaia and how that happens?
There's been no discussion and no talks. Like I said, we're taking it one fight at a time. It would have been easier to make that fight happen, but like I said, he's with Zuffa. It seems like they're at war, you know, boxing
facts.
politics, you know.
Yeah, facts.
BBC, Golden Boy, Ring Magazine. Or actually, Ring is with Zuffa, actually. So I don't know.
Wow, bro.
We're not to sit back and just see what happens. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll focus on this fight. As for me trying to get the biggest fights in the world, like.
All right, so he's saying it's going to be difficult to make because he's with Zuffa. So already we're starting with the
politics.
He needs to. He needs to
like a
get
man.
out of there.
Go ahead.
He has loyalty to Al Heyman. He needs to get out of there.
Of course.
He needs to just go partner up with Turkey and say, "Bro, I'm gonna need some protection. I'm gonna sign with you guys, but I need this guy off my fucking back." Because look what he did to Floyd. Floyd thought that guy was his buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And now in the lawsuit, it says that he was funneling money, him and Showtime, Al Heyman. He's saying they took hundreds of millions of dollars from him.
The Jackson's candy ass.
And he's going to keep working with that guy, this guy, David Benavidez. Oh, Al Heyman. I love Al Heyman. It's like, yeah, just like Floyd did.
Well, if he
Just
loved
like
it, why did he
Conor
try
did.
to sign with Top Rank a few years back? Like, I don't get it. Yeah.
He's stupid. Any guy that works with that dude is retarded.
Shut that down.
Wait, who?
Jukowitz.
Ah, come on. Hold on, actually.
In the chat, Windy City says Sufa. Yeah, in the chat, Windy City says Sufa is going to fail. Well, we'll see.
It's funny because they already own most of boxing. That's why Oscar's crying every day.
Hey, by the way,
hey, Fu, what do you think about the Conor Benn fight? He's fighting Regis Prograis.
Oh, that sounds stupid, but it's probably going to make money, and that's probably a build up to a bigger fight because I think they're assuming
in the undercard, by the way,
UK
of
fighters,
Fury.
right? Those are big UK fighters.
Yeah,
and so he's probably going to lay him out in one round, and then they're going to line him up with a big fight. But
so
you never know. I mean,
I heard it was $50 million for one fight.
But isn't Prograis like a little guy? He's a little guy.
It doesn't make any sense. That's a 150 on top of that. I don't think
crazy.
he has ever fought above 147, and he's old now. So I don't know. It's a showcase fight, obviously, but it could go wrong when it comes to.
I have a feeling like Conor Benn might lose that. At 150, like he might have issues coming back down in weight. I'm pretty sure that dude was around 170 pounds when he went into Eubanks. So to ask him to come down to 150, the dude. It wouldn't shock me if there's an upset in that fight.
I think they know that. Yeah, no, but it could happen. That's the thing, and I think they know that. That's why they put him. That's why they chose this guy. Prograis.
Yeah, I think that's a good matchup for him coming down in weight. You got to remember, Jojo Diaz was giving this guy work Prograis not too long ago. I think Conor Benn.
Yeah,
that's the fight.
To give him that much money,
looked
give
at
him
that
15
fight
for that. Hopefully, he's got more fights. Because 15 mil for that is way too much.
Listen, this is that just shows me that Sufa doesn't really believe 100% on this guy still. I mean, they don't believe that this guy can they're not convinced, I should say, that this guy can deliver. So they want to see him against a soft touch and see how
Or
he. Yeah.
or like Fu saying is like this is going to be a really really soft touch to guarantee he wins it, looks good in it for whatever the big fight is next. Maybe Ryan Garcia is going to be there and they're going to do a a
I'm pretty sure
phony
that's the
face off
plan.
or something.
That's the
Yeah.
plan.
Yep.
They're gonna try to line him up with a big fight. Yeah.
But it could go wrong again.
I'm not a fan of that.
saying.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Me
because it's reminding me more of like the old school boxing. These setup fights. Why don't you put this guy in a 50-50? I don't want to see these stupid setup fights like we've had in boxing for a long time now. That sounds like what they call a tune-up.
I guess he's moving down back
anymore.
in weight. That's right. I guess since he's going back down in weight, they don't know how he's gonna be looking. How he's gonna look? Because 160. What? He fought at 164 or something. So now he has.
Well, I mean, to cut down to 150 is probably going to be a problem because I'm pretty sure I saw that guy when he fought Chris Eubank, and he was like, you could tell he was shredded, right? He was all cut down.
Yeah,
so for sure he's cutting weight.
Yeah, he's
but
muscle.
he was actually cutting weight to make that weight. So for sure he's probably putting on like 10 pounds or 15.
Crazy.
So
and the plan is to get him
to 150.
140. They want to get it, and I think the plan is to get him to 147 eventually.
Yeah, that dude is a whore. He'll do anything to get some money. He's out there horn. Remember he started Shakur?
Yeah. Well, that's
he's like, Tank, I'm going to cut down. I'm going to fight you, Tank.
That's where the money's at right now, 147. 154, you get just risk, right? You get all these guys that are probably going to kick your ass.
And you know what, Bucho?
So,
to your point, I'm surprised that Eddie Hearn has Josh Kelly, who just won a belt. Why doesn't he just match him up against Conor Benn, a big UK showdown? Like, that's an in-house fight. That would have been a good fight down there in the UK.
He didn't offer that fight, I guess. That's why he left.
I heard he's popular, too, Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
Kind of like a rising star. So,
I'm surprised
that would be a smart.
Everyone's talking about how Eddie Hearn loves Conor Benn. He's always hooking up with big fights. That would have been a big fight right there in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, but I think the plan again is to get him to 147. So if he beats Josh Kelly, he has to stay at 154. I guess. I mean, he has a belt. Unless he drops it.
But you know how these promoters are, right? He doesn't want Josh Kelly to lose because then that hurts his product.
Exactly. Maybe build it up. Do something. Yeah.
He's not even going to do that.
We got more intrigue occurring here with this whole Sufa TKO. Eddie Hearn just went on Fight Hub with Villegas, and he had this to say.
Yeah, I mean, obviously got to see if that's the payday, and I can't say too much because there's a bit of a legal process regarding that. But
he's talking about the Conor Benn situation.
How so? The fight is, well, obviously, when you get an opportunity to match, you have to make sure that was actually what you were asked to match. Do you know what I mean? So, we shall see. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. But I would have welcomed the move with open arms if there was no opportunity to get close to that. We actually matched one element of the deal, so we weren't far off at all. But they used the other element of the deal, the one fight option, to snooker us, and now again that's where we'll see what happens. But
so he claims he got snookered. That's his word, and he says we'll see what happens. Does that mean there could be some litigation occurring, just like Frank Warren is doing or allegedly about to do?
Yeah,
I mean that's interesting. Somebody said
I saw that,
but somebody said real quick. Somebody said on Twitter. I forgot to read this way back 3 hours ago. Somebody said on Twitter, it's Blake X Avignon, and he said, so now we're understanding why Frank Warren is suing Sufa Boxing and SELA. So Warren and Queensberry were effectively pushed out of promoting Fury on Netflix, with Zuffa stepping in, leaving him without a clear path to recoup revenue tied to the fight. This is no longer just about Conor Benn and the fighters. It's about who controls the promotional future of boxing. So are they taking these dudes one fight at a time without a long-term contract?
That's what I heard. Yeah. One fight at a time. But then they said, who was it? Mr. Versace said they're gonna try to. No, Mr. Versace. Sorry, somebody else said they're gonna try to eventually get Conor Benn for in more fights. So I'm like, okay, so it's not a one fight deal then, or what are they talking about?
Well, they're cutting these promoters out of the equation. That's what they're doing. So they're strangling the life out of them slowly. Right. That's why these guys are crying, because they're not getting any of that money. Eddie Hearn's like, I was there for you. For in reality, you put your hands in his pockets. That's what you want.
Oh, wait, what?
Not like the way that Crawford wants to do that.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
go
like he wants some of that money, just like Oscar. You know, look, they don't like the fighters. It's like, no, you just want to cut. That's all it is. That's why this guy's doing now.
What can Sufa offer besides money? Like,
well,
can they offer them the big fights at this point? They can't. It's just also at this point it's only.
Well, they're gonna bring. It's all going to them now. Like they played real nice and friendly for a little while there, and those promoters loved it, right? Now they're going directly to the fighters, and so those promoters are all getting cut out of the equation. A lot of these guys aren't even going to sign with Oscar or Queensberry or what's the other guy's name? Matchroom. In the future, no one's going to sign with them. They're going to go straight to Zuffa.
Oh, okay.
I already hear they're going to go straight there.
Like free agents, or what do you mean? Like go to? They're
going to sign with them. They're most likely just going to sign with them because I think their plan is to kind of strangle the life out of these guys.
$50 million every time, so they're not.
Yeah, they're not going to do that every time.
That's what I'm saying. But, yeah, exactly. Why would they just go?
Well, I
with
said
Sufa?
the majority of fights are not these big, big fighters, or these smaller fighters, and they're making more right now with Zuffa. So that's where the future is going all there. And then
Zuffa.
The what?
You better start shilling for Zuffa right now.
Oh.
And no one's shilling. Look, this Turkey guy saved boxing. Boxing's been dying for a long time now.
You know, this guy Turki
Hey, if you think about it, hold on.
We still don't have this Boots Ennis fight versus Verge Ortiz.
No, man.
And that's what we get. That's old boxing.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. I just realized something. Zuffa Fu. It's backwards. But it's hidden there. Fuza TV or Fuaz TV. Yeah.
Fuza TV. I think we know who the secret investor is.
There you go. And that's why when Food TV was claiming that the Sheikh was stealing his ideas, that was to throw us off the scent. Like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, they have to be enemies. They could be the same team.
He's a secret consultant. That's what he is. Yeah.
Anyway, they're doing a great job over there. Fuck Eddie
Wait a minute,
Hearn.
see how he
By the way, can I just about the trunks? Obviously they have to wear the same shorts, like generic and shit.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Now, disgusting. Now, these
I
fighters
think it
gonna
looks clean. It looks fucking clean. No more skirts. No more my pet monster skirts.
Okay, if you're exaggerating, not all of them wear skirts and shit.
Most of them do nowadays.
Do you see a scenario where some boxers go like, okay, listen, I'm gonna join Sufa, I'm gonna join you, but I want to keep some of my personality. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to put me below the brand of Sufa.
Mm-hmm.
I think some fighters are gonna do that, man. Because they're coming from
maybe. I think
the personality that counts.
I don't think they're going to miss out on big money because they can't wear a pink skirt. I mean, I think they'd rather just get the money.
If the money's like too big, too much, then they probably won't give a shit. I mean, they're going to take the offer. But I don't know. We'll see, man.
Wow.
But because boxing has a history. Boxing has a history. Boxing has a history.
I mean, that's what a lot of that's the character guys have today. Is they wear a big purple skirt.
Come on.
I'll calm down.
I don't know. I just feel like these boxers, they're not gonna keep that up, man. It's have you seen all this? Like, it's historical. I know the color of Ali's trunks when he fought.
That was white. That's what they have at Zuffa.
Okay, you're right.
They're red.
That's a bad example. Bad example.
They're red.
The first fight was red and white.
That's a bad example again. Mike Tyson here. No, but they were shorter, right? I mean, you know what the fuck I mean. Come on. I don't want to see them fighting with these shitty ass trunks, man. It's just,
anything that takes away your individuality, I don't like.
Yes.
Okay?
But I mean,
I know Food TV wants us all to be an AI hive mind.
That's true. Oh my God. That's the Manson bot.
That's not what I want. What the hell?
Won't these boxers be afraid of ending up like UFC fighters, though? Eventually, at some point?
They should be wary.
They're taking it down, man. It's going to be really funny to see it. To see all these guys get kicked out of the market. It's going to be great.
Yeah, play the video again.
No, well, actually, I was trying to play the Dubois thing.
Nigga talking about I'm stalking him. This and that, you bitch ass nigga. Tell the motherfuckers you took me to court
that's the
for
lady
2
that
years,
with
bitch.
Crawford.
Tell them that. Okay. Tell them that. Tell them that.
Tell him that.
Who is that woman? I remember seeing that video earlier.
I don't know, but you see how Crawford has that energy for everybody, but this bitch must really be dangerous.
Yeah, he's wrestling with everybody.
Dubois looks like. You ever played Resident Evil 4? Dubois looks like that thing you shoot and its limbs grow back.
Yeah, you said No, but he brings up Sobers brings up an excellent point. Crawford is always wrestling all these guys, all these YouTubers, all these social media personalities, so that he can they can get an interview. And he talks about you mess with me, you're gonna get it. But this woman was talking a lot, and he just walked away.
She's bigger than him.
Makes you wonder. I don't know.
Who was she?
I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, what the fuck is going on? But okay, Gypsy needs to come on the show, man. He says Al Heyman took some. No, he was saying that. What was he saying about Mike Tyson? Story is that Teddy Atlas scared himself to make out like he's tough. I don't understand that sentence. Story
himself.
Gypsy needs to jump off a fucking a garage.
Saying that. Come on, man. Come on. What was it? He called you call him. You call him Gypsy Queen. He calls you Sabrina, which I still don't.
Well, I'll call him endangered.
Why? Because he's Armenian.
Yeah.
Come on. But what was I gonna say? I think we got it. I think we've said everything, man. 3.5 hours. Tomorrow there's Pro Box. No, actually, no. Hold on. Was there something else? Somebody was gonna say something, and I think I interrupted. The individuality.
What Gypsy said.
No, but we were talking about the trunks, the individuality of the trunks, and the gives. Yeah, you know what? At a certain point, I understand. What happened? Who said what?
No, I'm reading now. Gypsy says the story is that Teddy Atlas scarred himself to make out.
Scarred. Okay. I thought he said scared himself.
I did want to ask, where the hell did he get that scar? He's trying to be some kind of tough guy. So what kind of badass are you? Look, what kind of a badass are you? Where your coolest story is that you pulled a gun out on a 15-year-old?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's amazing, man. You know that? Remember that scene in Scarface where they tell Tony, they're like, "Hey, how'd you get that scar?"
Eating pussy. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Exactly. That was Teddy Atlas' story of his life.
He's been asked that all the time. Is that what you're saying? You think?
Yeah. That was based on. So they asked him. He got arrested. Remember?
Do you think he did what Gypsy said, that he scarred himself, and then he revels in the fact that people come up to him and ask him, "Where did you get that?" And then he starts the story. Well, sit down and let me tell you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, first he plays the game. He says he doesn't want to talk about it, but then they push, and then he goes,
"Hey, I didn't know I got these scars."
Can you tell me the story? Well, how much time you got? It's like it's a long one. It's a long, interesting one. Like a pirate or something.
Yeah, it's like wearing my eye patch, right? If you see a guy with the eye patch, it's automatically cool.
That thing click like a light switch, like you.
And why does he always have that mouth open, but just ever so slightly? Look at that. See, he's always got the mouth open and the teeth, the mouth closed and the lips open. Like is he proud of
a Shih Tzu?
Is he proud of his teeth or something? I don't get it. His front teeth.
No, Ben Affleck looks the same way. You ever see Ben Affleck? Maybe it's a Boston thing.
I thought this guy was from.
Are you saying it's a war?
Yeah, he's a classic mouth breather.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I mean, you listen to his takes, you sort of get that sense. By the way, I think one of the downsides of not having custom trunks and all that, we won't get to see interviews with the people who made them. Let's go back to the old school here. Let's go back to the archives. This is Deontay Wilder with...
Who's here? I know. I'm so excited. Yeah, you got to see what he drove up in. You got to see this car. Oh, really? What was crazy? Can you bring it in here? It looks like Picasso painted it and met Versace, and they did it in the ghetto, and the car is fabulous. Yes.
Well, so Deontay, you have some good news for us, right?
Good news is, what's the good news? Well, the good news is
the good news is the test came back negative. Oh, see, they found that funny. See, they laugh.
They're like, Deontay, we know you're lying. You're full of it. You're full of it. We know what. You taste sexy.
This is like something out of a David Lynch movie, man.
That looks like Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Who does he? Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a he, she nowadays. You gotta be careful. You gotta be politically correct.
No, it looks like what's that actor? Fuck.
Nat Sarah, the MMA fighter.
That's not an actor, or is it?
No. He's a fighter.
John Goodman. He looks like John Goodman.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Think that we made you another showstopper. We did another one. Yes. So what do you think about the album?
Like DJ Khaled said, and another. It's number 5. Yeah. You know, this one right here, it means a lot to me. You know, I'm definitely representing for all the Edo people out there.
The what? The Edo people? I don't know what he's talking about. The Edomites? Is that what he's talking about? Oh, was it Cosmo Donato? Let's go to TikTok, because I know he's got a TikTok. Cosmo Data? No, what's his name?
Why are we doing this?
Why not? Cosmo and
Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Cosmo and Dado. Come on, I can't find the guy's TikTok. Or, I mean, not guy, but, you know, whatever. I know Fu has it. I know Fu has all the information on this dude. The music and all that. Here we go.
Yeah, I know somebody that directed his music video.
We should interview him, man. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it. You mentioned it weeks ago. Why not?
Yeah. If I tried, I could probably get him on there.
We could get the inside scoop.
So you can ask him about the suit.
Absolutely, of course. Look at this. That's his TikTok.
Right, very hurtful.
This guy's got a TikTok from Queen of Melrose. That's his nickname, I suppose. Look at that.
Ask him if Deontay Wilder's gonna wear something like that for the Chisora fight. Yeah, there's Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, there
You could join my OnlyFans.
Actually, that's TikTok. I don't think they got a. That's not enough, man.
His videos are on YouTube. He's got some good music videos.
What was the one that you were showing me the other day with the woman who keeps screaming rah, rah, every time she sings, but she's screaming? She's Greek or something?
Oh, yeah, that's Lord Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
You saw it, Bucho?
Good.
Yeah, you guys were playing it. I don't know when it was.
So good.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Just absolutely fantastic. I was looking for these dudes. There was a video that I'd seen weeks ago, months ago, of this dude was going to a Madonna concert and he was complaining that they wouldn't let him bring his bag in there. But it's no longer there. I don't know where it is. Anyway, listen, we've been on for close to 4 hours. We got to go. But I want to give a big shout out to Food TV, the real Food TV, for joining us. Quinn Lassiter, Never Sobers, Bucho holding down the fort, Frank Bay, of course. Oh, and shout out to Rapax Trucking Company, who says, does BDA have a TikTok? Bucho, do we have a TikTok?
No. I think they took it down because I was posting clips of fights and they're very strict on that.
Uh-huh. And then you started posting clips of sociopolitics and all that. All right, Frank Bay is posting a picture of a guy beating up a rowdy customer at a pizzeria, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a super viral clip in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's an ex-boxer.
Oh,
nice.
I don't know if we can show that level of violence.
It's not. It's children's games.
It's already on
violent.
YouTube. I don't understand.
It is violent.
They were just joshing around a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, they're just sparring.
The guy.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, I'm running low on energy here. I could probably get a Stewart's coffee, the one that Food likes to drink, the extra large one, but it's 11 p.m.
Yeah.
It's 11 p.m. I'm not crazy enough to drink coffee.
Perfect time. 5 more hours.
Oh, jeez, Luis. Yeah, the night's just starting. No, but we do have to go.
The night's young.
The night's young. There you go. But we do have to go. Shout out to all of you guys for joining us. Everybody in the chat, of course. I'm talking about Dex, who says, do it. Come on. Miso Dionysian.
You know what you should do? You should come on my show, and we can drink. We can have like a competition who drinks the most coffee.
You fucking insane. I have a phobia. I have a
3-day stream.
I have a phobia of drinking coffee and staying awake for all night. I don't know why, man. I got a phobia. I think it's for someone else. But shout out to the problem child, Dex, Sergeant Apollo.
I'm gonna die. 4 days. 4-day stream. We'll do a fundraiser. You can buy more of those controls.
You know what? I'm using the Roadcaster Duo. Shout out to everybody who donated. Really appreciate it. And it's a fantastic piece of hardware. Maybe we're gonna get the pro version one day because this is the duo. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Liar,
Sounds
liar,
good.
whore, and you know it.
Oh, see, it's got, but it's limited to 8 pages of drum kits.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's not a lot. The hell was that? That wasn't me, man. That wasn't me. That's Butch's got his own. So
it was gonna be a good ending.
I got his own.
I got the best ones.
You don't have the
Scared
best.
like a little white pussy. Scared like a little white pussy.
I got you beat, Bucho.
I will never lose to a white boy in my life.
I got you
Okay,
beat, man.
nobody got this.
I got you beat. Check this out.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah. Just as going the same way. Yo, what's wrong with you?
What is that?
This is some guy in
Black and
what,
Brown.
Brad Pitt's, I think.
No, it was on Black and Brown.
Black and Brown. Black and Brown. Yeah. Oh, no. You win, man. You win.
Hey, did you hear
Yeah.
this is the song that this is the song Terrence Crawford, blaming the man for the pressure that he feels upon himself. This is his theme.
Black man in a white man town. He's got trouble.
There's trouble all over the place, man.
But you're cutting off BDA when you play your sounds, man. I don't know why.
But reality's blind wig smothers the afros of our souls.
I mean, come on. That was Crawford on the Joe Rogan
Aaron
podcast.
Crawford, he had it so hard, didn't he?
That's right.
So hard.
All right, but listen, we do have to go. I don't know why he was cutting off Buchu, but we'll try to figure it out later on.
We'll figure it out.
Jeez, Buchu's possessed.
Wait, is that Satan?
Why are you hitting on Shakur? Why are you hitting on Shakur?
What the? It sounds like you got the cotton balls in your mouth, man. What the fuck? All right, but listen, we do have to go. But shout out to all of you guys. Fu, Quentin, Never Sobers, Frank, Bucho, and of course, yours truly, Mr. BDA. We do have to go. But hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Tomorrow there will be Pro Box, and then on Saturday we get a big fight. So go check out the taqueria. Or if you don't want to be in the taqueria necessarily straight ahead there or straight in because you might be getting legal trouble, you can always go to Fu TV's channel, YouTube channel. He's actually usually there and he's streaming from there. So you got a whole bunch of options that you can use. So go check him out. As for the rest of you guys, well, we got to go.
There's only one option. There's only one option.
There's only one of them.
We should post everybody's channels.
All right,
like
well,
the links in the description.
Yeah, well, if you can do that, Bucha, that'd be great because I'm not going to do it.
I'm at the Versace temple right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Scary.
Wait, get him out of there.
Yeah, I heard footsteps.
Oh no, he's coming. He's coming towards me.
I heard footsteps in the background, like somebody.
I can hear his hat.
Yeah, I heard somebody naked.
He's naked.
Yeah, that's where you go. I heard somebody naked. Like, when someone's naked walking on the ground, you hear like that. The walking
He's wearing all
towards
those.
Bucha.
All those rings. I think they got him.
Oh, by the way, Sobers, are you going live? Oh, he's live right now, I think.
I'm live right now.
He's always live.
All right, so if you guys want some more late night entertainment, by the way, shout out to Rapex.
Live too.
Late night.
No, not live.
Late night with Conor O'Brien.
Yeah.
It's like we're Jay Leno, basically. Oh, no, I don't want to be Jay Leno.
Hey, by the way, did you hear that Conor O'Brien was at the Bohemian Grove?
Oh, was he?
He's in the files?
The New York Post. No, but the New York Post
Oh,
released.
serious?
Somebody leaked a list of Bohemian Grove attendees, and he's there apparently.
Of course.
Lost all respect.
I mean,
There's no shock there.
That whole men of the people
they're all
persona.
in it, man. They're all these they're liberal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, they created liberalism.
My friends could get hurt. Looking ass.
Yeah. All right, listen, we gotta go, man. But shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Don't forget tomorrow there's fights. So stay tuned for those. All right.